grabbed first place with an $8.1 million take. Black Phone 2 was second with $8 million. The anime film Chainsaw Man was third this time around with $6 million. Then we have the re-release of K-pop Demon Hunters. That was $5.3 million, enough to secure fourth place.
Is that wild? It's been on Netflix for all this time. Right. Every time they throw it into the theater, it becomes this sing-along.
Yep. And then rounding out the top five was Emma Stone's Begonia with $4.8 million.
What's the word on that? It looks
supposed to be very quirky, very good. This is a woman that these kind of conspiracy theorists capture her and they believe she's an alien.
Yeah.
They shave her head. They put this ointment on her, and it's a psychological back and forth.
I'm going to have to Rotten Tomatoes see if it's worth it.
Did you ever see Beethoven? It's supposed to be a lot like that.
Is it a lot like that?
The dog?
Yeah.
Oh,
very similar.
I did not pick up on that vibe at all.
She slobbers a lot.
Okay.
The word begonia is a funny one in my family because I used to work at this place called Mainline Gardens, and our friend Matt Teedy worked there as well. And Matt knew nothing about plants, even though we worked in a garden center. So anytime any customer would ever ask him what that plant was, his default answer every single time was begonia.
Oh, get out.
So,
Begonia.
Well, and what are these leafy green ones over here? Those are begonias.
Wow.
And these? Begonias.
Yeah, people don't know, so they just say, this guy seems to know what he knows.
Begonia.
All right, so I got some entertainment stories to share with you. We're going to start with this. Justin Baldoni has seemingly accepted defeat in his legal battle with Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and the New York Times after missing the deadline to appeal a judge's ruling dismissing his lawsuits. The court threw out all of Justin's claims, where he sought a colossal $400 million from Blake and Ryan and $250 million from the New York Times over alleged defamation tied to an article about turmoil on the It Ends With Us set.
I think he realized that in life there are things more important than $400 million.
The judge ruled that Blake's allegations were part of a civil rights complaint and thus protected, while the New York Times reporting was in line with Blake's version of how things went down. Justin also accused the Times of picking certain messages to paint him negatively, but the court disagreed. As for Ryan, his alleged sexual predator comment was deemed consistent with Blake's complaint, and he didn't have a reason to not believe her, so were not considered defamatory.
You saw the movie It Ends Here, right?
Yeah.
And you liked it.
Yeah, I did. It was...
It Ends With Us. It ends over there.
No, it's good. It's... I didn't love it. Like Kathy thought it was amazing,
right?
And I thought it was good, but yeah, it was well done. Their performances are really good.
Could you compare it to Beethoven?
No,
okay,
I couldn't. Not at all. It's about domestic violence and
not a Saint Bernard.
No Saint Bernards.
Right.
So as for Ryan. Meanwhile, Blake's claims against Justin remain active. That's still going on.
Yeah.
And she is seeking to have him pay her legal fees.
So for him, that's the way he gets victory, by beating that in court and having her pay for the court costs. But when will that wrap up? 9 years from now?
We'll see.
I don't know what the future for his acting holds, but he has had no credits since that movie, since It Ends With Us. So I'm sure that this has completely stunted his career.
I think you missed this. He is working on a reboot of Beethoven.
Wow.
I see.
Wow.
Okay.
All right, this was out of left field. Millie Bobby Brown has reportedly filed a formal complaint against her Stranger Things co-star David Harbour, accusing him of harassment and bullying on the set of the show's fifth and final season. And by the way, according to sources, the allegations do not involve any sexual misconduct at all. A source claimed that Brown submitted the claim before filming began for the last season. The insider said that there were pages and pages of accusations. The investigation went on for months. Netflix has declined to comment on any investigation into the matter. Despite the controversy, the streaming service is focused on the show's finale. Netflix source said it will be a theatrical event. Nothing is going to overshadow this, not even the leading man's private life.
Listen, I'm sad that any of this is happening.
Yeah.
It's not going to detract one iota from the way I enjoyed the movie. Preston, I was in Target over the weekend, and there's a full Netflix Stranger Things line of toys and products that are all over the store.
And I told you guys last week, I was, I found a couple of Instagram accounts that focus on, it's the official Netflix account, the official Stranger Things account, and I just can't get enough of it. All the actors have filmed all these really cool, fun teasers. There's a whole bunch of little vignettes, and I'm just loving it.
Do you know what's actually made me more excited for Stranger Things is Welcome to Derry.
Yeah.
Like, because they're both in the same pocket, you know?
So another insider had added, it's unfortunate that Mr. Harper's personal woes have hit the headlines at a time when Stranger Things fans are looking forward to a global celebration to mark the end of the groundbreaking show. David Harbour has also been in the spotlight due to his high-profile divorce from singer Lily Allen. Allen recently released her first album in 7 years, West End Girl, which explores the end of her marriage and the personal struggles that she faced. And some songs on the album reportedly reference Harbour's alleged infidelity, the lyrics describing betrayal and heartbreak. But Allen herself told British Vogue that while the album draws on her personal experiences, it should not be seen as a literal account of everything that's happened. She said, the topics I write about during the album are things that I experienced with my marriage, but that's not to say that it's all gospel, she added.
So maybe this is superficial to say, but I think we tend to side with anyone who's been a guest on our show. So, but yeah, there's a morass of stuff. We don't know what's going on, but yeah, it sucks. But I'm excited. I can't help it.
In the past, David Harbour has always said that he was always very protective of Millie.
And I like that.
I do too, because they have the father-daughter relationship on the show. Yep. So we like to believe that those things are actually true.
When this does wrap up, the Duffer Brothers have talked about their plans, and I'm thrilled for the landing and sticking this, but I'm also excited to see where they go after this.
Yeah, me too.
Because they've been so consistent.
Yeah, me too. All right, here's a story I teased earlier. I had a good one for you. NASA has rejected Kim Kardashian's claim that the 1969 space mission that landed the first man on the moon was faked. And the NASA acting administrator, Sean Duffy, wrote on social media, yes, we've been on the moon before 6 times. Kim made the comments on the Kardashians, telling co-star Sarah Paulson that she thought the moon landing didn't happen, despite being consistently debunked. Conspiracy theories as to whether humans actually reached the moon have persisted for more than 50 years, particularly with the rise of social media. In the episode, Kim can be seen showing Paulson an interview with Buzz Aldrin, and she said, I'm sending you 1 million articles with both Buzz Aldrin and the other one.
Neil Armstrong?
Other one.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Kim says, before reading a quote allegedly from Aldrin, responding to a question about the scariest moment of the expedition, which was supposedly there was no scary moment because it didn't happen. It could have been scary, but it wasn't because it didn't happen. It's unclear which article Kim was reading from, or if the quotes were actually from Aldrin.
You could take a piece of a quote, but if you want. One of my favorite pieces of footage, I think we'll all agree, is when Buzz Aldrin punches the guy in the face who says they never landed on the moon.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much tells you how he feels about that.
So she said, I think it was fake. I've seen a few videos on Buzz Aldrin, talking about how it didn't happen. And he says it all the time now in interviews. Maybe we should find Buzz Aldrin, she said. Following the broadcast, Duffy tagged Kim on the post, rebuffing her comments, and promoted NASA's current moon exploration program, Artemis. In response, Kim wrote back asking about the interstellar object 3I Atlas. And she said, wait, what's the T on 3I Atlas?
What's the T?
The T,
Okay.
Yeah.
Buzz Aldrin just lost his wife recently, did he? Didn't he? I
believe so.
He just
she
lost
was
his wife.
like 30 years younger than him.
So leave him alone.
Yeah. And Duffy, by the way, later invited Kim to the Kennedy Space Center for the launch of the Artemis mission to the moon. So that's how you get an invite. To go to.
Well, then I'm a flat earther.
Jesus
yeah.
Christ. Oh, my God.
I want that, too.
I immediately saw there's a gal that I follow, Amy Shira-Title, and she's a space historian, the space program historian. And like immediately she was just like, okay, let's clear this up, and just went like as Kim had, like why is the flag moving, and all these other conspiracy tropes and stuff, and she just went through A, B, C, and D. Here's where you're wrong. Period.
So one of the most prominent ones is that Stanley Kubrick directed moon footage for NASA, and that's how they faked it. Remember the movie Capricorn 1? All that stuff.
Yep, exactly. All right, this was nice to see. Robert Englund, who terrorized kids and adults alike as the iconic character Freddy Krueger, has moved from Elm Street to Hollywood Boulevard, getting his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, appropriately on Halloween.
Yeah,
I thought
it was
that was
great.
really cool. Yeah. a Friday ceremony. He was honored with speeches by Heather Langenkamp. Of course, she played Nancy in the Nightmare on Elm Street films, as well as horror director and actor Eli Roth. And we have a clip of him.
It's Heather Langenkamp talking.
Oh, it's Heather
Yeah.
Langenkamp. Okay. Well, because I have a great quote from him himself, but this is her.
When I look at this 5-pointed star in front of me with Robert's name on it, I think of the 5 fingers of that oily, dirty glove that he wore on his right hand.
So at the closing of the ceremony, he thanked everybody, friends and family, for supporting him in his career. And he closed it with saying, trick or effing treat. And he, of course, dropped the full F-bomb while there. So.
Heather Langenkamp finished off her speech by saying, and so I say to you, Robert, welcome to prime time, bitch.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Fantastic. That is one of my favorite lines. Wow. Going back to Lily Allen for just a moment. She just released a new album, like I said earlier, but she said she didn't do it for the money. She said she makes pretty good bank on her OnlyFans.
Yes.
But the specific pictures that earn her the most might surprise you. She says that her fans most often request pictures of her feet in socks, often dirty ones. And talking to Interview Magazine, she said they want dirty soles, white socks like schoolgirl socks or ankle socks, some clean, some dirty, white socks and Mary Jane shoes, stepping in food, toe spreading, because that's what happens when you're climaxing.
Wow.
Okay.
I didn't get that connection.
I didn't either.
So if you could, listen, obviously we have careers, we're doing what we do now, but if you could pick up an extra couple of grand, on a monthly basis, simply by taking a couple pictures of your feet, wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even second guess it.
Yeah.
I would most absolutely, positively do that in a split second. And I'm a former foot model.
Yeah, but I mean, and so you have you have the jump on all of us.
Yeah.
You know the right lighting.
But
and
I also have a little pedigree, and you would think I would be above doing
No,
this.
it shows
but
that
I
you're-
would not.
No.
You're a foot of the people.
Give them what they want.
You got to assume that that women have like a foot thing too.
Yes,
Right? Like,
though you
so-
don't hear
so-
about it as much,
But
right?
You don't. At least I haven't. But so my audience would be straight women and gay men, I assume.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Welcome to Takonomi Plaza.
Nakatomi.
Nakatomi. Yeah.
No, Tokonomi, because it's your feet.
All right. So while most people think of Terminator, Titanic, or Avatar when they hear James Cameron, one of his 90s films earned big box office turn and had big stars. And that's True Lies, of course, with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Tom Arnold. Took in almost $150 million in the States, nearly $380 million globally. The film ended in such a way that a sequel was almost guaranteed, yet almost 30 years later, it remains a one and done. So what's the deal? Jamie Lee says that she would love to return for a sequel, would love to work with Arnold again, but the holdup actually is James Cameron. Curtis told E.T., I always hoped that Arnold and I would get to do True Lies again.
Did you always hope that you would get to do a sequel to True Lies?
She was talking to E.T., of course. She said, I don't think that'll happen because it could only happen if Jim Cameron
I
wrote
will
it.
always be right here
Where's that?
in your vagina.
Oh my God.
I'm short.
Oh, that makes sense.
She said, I don't think we'd ever do it without him. Cameron, of course, is busy with the Avatar franchise as well as directing the upcoming Ghost of Hiroshima.
You know what you could
writing
do?
a script for Terminator 7.
Get a director was really inspired by now. You see it happen in entertainment. You have someone who's been inspired by a particular director or musician, sort of follows in their way. Find someone, a young up and comer who's really Cameron-esque, and give them this task.
Yeah.
See if they can do it.
Yeah.
It's not going to cost as much as Cameron.
No. I would love to see a sequel to that.
I love that movie.
It was so much fun.
It is a ton of fun. Yeah. Tom Arnold, man, alone. And everybody was just terrific.
Yeah. Eliza Dushku could come back. She hasn't acted in
That's
a long
right.
time.
Yeah.
So he is actually...
They could all come back.
Actually, James Cameron has gone on record as saying that he would be in favor of a True Lies 2, but,
Well, then what are you waiting for, bitch?
exactly. Thank you, E.T., a voice of reason. E.T., a voice of us all. Woody Harrelson was arguably one of the actors most responsible for putting the acclaimed HBO series True Detective on the map, with his performance in the first season alongside Matthew McConaughey establishing the series as must-watch television. Series creator Nick Pizzolatto said recently that he has an idea to pair the two back up for a future season of the show, after which McConaughey reportedly said that he and his BFF Harrelson were down if the script were good enough. When the Today Show's Dylan Dreyer brought this up to Harrelson on Friday, he actually resisted the idea. He said, Matthew's so funny. And he said, but in fairness, never, not a chance.
Oh, wow.
And when asked why not, his reason was surprising in today's climate of reboots and sequels. He said, because it turned out great. He said, I love that it turned out the way it did. If anything, doing another season would, I think, tarnish that.
It's true. You do run that risk
Sometimes.
and you sometimes it is, if you think about the times the extra dip into the water paid off, it's probably a lot less, but I don't know,
Yeah. Yeah, there are times when you're like, oh, man, I wish I wouldn't have done that.
How many times would you say statistically it actually sullied the original when they went to the sequel?
Very good question. Like made you a little, it put a little less shine on the original, and now you can't watch it the same because they made a sequel? That's a really good question.
I'm trying to think.
I'd have to go through, I'd have to see a list.
Yeah.
And mark them down.
I think there have been a number of times where Aliens, Godfather 1, Godfather 2.
Where it worked.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
I think when you get to the third, it starts getting tricky. Though I've heard the notion they just re-released Back to the Future, and there seems to be this growing camp of people who believe that Back to the Future, the best, Back to the Future 2, not so much, and Back to the Future 3, more in line with Back to the Future 1. Back to the Future 3 over time has become elevated, at least in a lot of fans' minds.
I agree.
You agree? Yeah.
I thought it was more fun than 2.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never seen it all the way through.
No kidding.
The Western. It's great.
Wow.
It's of the sequels. I love that one more than 2, and it's got ZZ Top in it. So
Well, there you go.
So that's the part I didn't like.
Oh, really?
Like, come on.
I love that
man.
part. It's a great song.
That really happened.
I know, but
They're playing with the frisbee.
but the rotating guitars.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
So good.
It was a bit of a stretch. But besides that,
There you go.
Well, the time travel movie was a bit of a stretch.
I did love. Oh, that happened. The whole drive-in out there and everything. I thought it was just terrific. The theater and it was great.
Yeah. All right, and then one last story before we move on to the clips. Ariana Grande is trading her mic for some mayhem now that she's officially joining season 13 of American Horror Story. The pop star will appear alongside franchise icons Sarah Paulson, Evan Peters, Angela Bassett, Jessica Lange, Kathy Bates, Emma Roberts, Billy Lord, and others. Grande's no stranger to the scary crowd since she previously teamed up with Roberts and AHS masterminds Ryan Murphy and Brad Falchuk on Scream Queens. The cast announcement video made viewers jump after it cut from Vera Lynn's I'll Be Seeing You to American Horror Story's signature spine-tingling instrumentals and the message, surprise, I bet you thought you'd seen the last of me, and the date of Halloween 2026.
My favorite one outside the first year. I mean, it's been hit or miss. I get why people love it so much, but the one, Preston, that took place that was basically a straight-up slasher movie homage, and they had all 80s bands in it, too. It was terrific. And Billy Lord was in it, and she was the main lead.
No word on a theme as of yet, but the teaser message and the returning cast points toward season 3's Coven. So,
all right,
we'll see if they go to that well. All right, we are ready to play some clips. Violent Ends takes place in the shadow of the Ozarks with a man who was born into violence, fights for love and redemption. And in this clip, Alexandra Shipp explains using personal experiences to connect with her character.
I've been in love in my life. I've been on this planet a good amount of time, and I've loved before, and I really kind of wanted to bring that excitement about the future to Emma so that when it's taken from her, everyone's just kind of like, but wait, why?
I don't give a f***.
Violent Ends is now in theaters.
Yeah, of course.
Violent Ends is now in theaters. All right, anyway, next clip. Here we go.
Am now in theaters.
Robin Hood follows a pair of people from different backgrounds joining forces to fight corruption and restore justice. And here, Sean Bean talks about humanizing the Sheriff of Nottingham.
I think he was reacting to the rebellion that was facing him, and he had to take pretty strong measures. So, and I see him as a man of vulnerabilities and frailties, and he's not perfect, and he has his weaknesses.
What the hell are you talking about?
Robin Hood premiered last night on MGM Plus, by the way. All right, and there you go. That's your entertainment report for today. Good morning, friend. If you're just joining us, we're coming off of obviously a very tough stretch of days. We're trying to get back into the swing of things, into our groove. Yet we, of course, are going to continue to honor Pierre Robert forever.
Yeah.
We're going to talk more about that. There was this wonderful gathering yesterday in Rittenhouse Square that was Casey's idea, and we'll get to a little recap of how all of that went. But we are planning on moving forward with things like the Camp Out for Hunger, which start 1 week from today. And we really are going to ask for you to participate in any way, shape, or form that you can. And if you haven't, maybe this is the year that you do that. We're carrying on Pierre's spirit because he was such a huge part of that event. And so we do have an announcement concerning that. We'll get to that when we roll into the first Bizarre File about an hour or so from now. We'll tell you about some of the things we have going on in the evening. There's another event. Of course, we're doing food trucks and fireworks.
Yes.
A week from this Thursday, that's one of them. We'll tell you about another one in a little while. But thank you, everyone, for the past few days. It's been very important and very special and very healing in certain ways. So we'll take a quick break. We'll come back in just a moment, and we'll dive into all things. Stay with us.
Exactly.
Yeah, diet pills were a big thing in the 80s, and eventually people realized you can't take a pill to lose weight.
No.
But the thing was, it was like racing people's bodies. So it was like extra, I don't know if it was caffeine or whatever the hell was in it, but it wasn't healthy for the
It's not good for you.
Yeah.
According to this, it says let's see, what does this say? It says if we make it literally impossible to eat anything solid, they'll have to lose weight. Seems to have been the thinking.
I'm so excited!
Oh, yeah. She was taking weight pills, right?
All right, was that it?
Yeah. Typically, patients had their mouths forcibly kept shut for around 9 months.
Oh, my God.
And while initial weight loss was reported, most patients put the pounds back on as soon as their traps were open. So,
isn't there a jaw clamp as well that they sold for a while?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a dental clamp.
So the practice fell in disfavor. If didn't help, that side effects can include choking on your own vomit and acute psychiatric conditions, suddenly panicking because you can't open your mouth.
Do you know what? I remember being trendy along this line, Preston. I'm going to say the 80s, smoking to lose weight.
Oh, really?
People somehow. I remember a friend of mine who felt she was overweight a little bit, started smoking. I'm like, I don't think that's a good trade-off.
Yeah. I mean, couldn't they just put you in a medically induced coma and you could lose weight that way?
I think they could.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's a great idea.
Or don't even use medicine. Just hit you with a mallet.
They would certainly handle every bit of your diet at that point. So, yeah. That's a great idea, Casey. Be in a coma for 6 months.
Listen.
You don't have to work or anything, do you?
Like at the beginning of COVID, what if you were able to miss this entire thing?
Yeah. All right.
And just lose 2 years of your life.
This is kind of a challenge from back in the day, proving that things were just as weird then as they are now. Panty raids.
Oh, my God,
Were big.
Could you imagine that today? Could you imagine?
In the 1950s, there was a trend on college campuses where large groups of young men, often numbering in the thousands,
Oh, my God.
would gather to invade women's dorms and sorority houses to steal panties and otherwise cause trouble. There's a lot to unpack with panty raids, actually. They were partly protests against gender-based housing restrictions, partly just college kids being stupid, and partly expressions of toxic masculinity. As gross and terrifying as the idea of the panty raid is, these often spontaneous protests set the stage for the more serious student activism of the 1960s. So maybe we can...
When they got serious about panty raids.
Hippies on panty raids. So, yeah, panty raids were a big thing for a while. Yep. All right. Other challenges and fads from days past. All right, this one I've never heard of.
All right.
Apparently, limping became a fashion trend.
We're going out limping tonight.
Yes.
Throckmorton, are you coming? What was that guy's name from Harvard?
Oh man, hang on. Let's go back and watch him.
Linthrop. We're We're going out hobbling.
Lothrop Withington.
Lothrop?
Yes.
Let's go limping like poor people or sick people would do. People with infirmities, they're hilarious.
Listen to how this happened. Adopting bizarre fashion because someone famous did it first is as old as time.
Cripples are so amusing.
Back in the 1860s, women from London to Edinburgh began limping. And it wasn't rickets, dropsy, or another disease of the pre-industrial age, though. It was called the Alexandra limp.
That's not like the Harlem Shuffle.
No, we're going to go do the Alexandra limp.
So you would pretend you had a limp?
Yes.
Okay.
And here's the reason behind that. Alexandra of Denmark, the bride of the Prince of Wales, was an influencer of the time. And when she was struck by a sickness in 1867, she was left with a limp. And she kept being famous and stylish, and she would show up at glam occasions with ornate walking sticks. And before long, her fans began copying that look right down to the way she limped as well.
That's like if the Kardashians had to all of a sudden use a cane or were limping.
Right.
Other people would start to do
They
it.
might take that on just to be like them. So before long, her fans began copying the look, copying the limp. The style went viral, mostly among the young and rich who would actually, Kathy, they would buy shoes with 2 different sized heels
to force them to limp,
to make it easier for them to walk around like they had a limp.
Oh my gosh.
So this was of the more elite were doing this.
Yes, the stylish were doing this.
And they were doing it based on another elite individual.
You kind of see similar stuff going on now. Like it's more like dance move-ish, but like my son and his friends, they do the gritty all the time, and they're not dancing. They're not on a dance floor. They'll just, for no reason. It's essentially a touchdown.
When I come in and out of the building, I'm doing the worm.
What's the gritty? I don't know.
It's a touchdown celebration. You just kind of. I'm not going to do it well, Press, but you kind of like lean. You lean forward, and then you like.
Casey's doing it.
I can't do it. But if you look up Justin Jefferson touchdown celebration, he does a gritty after. Yep.
Is it just mainly? Is it from him alone?
Well, I remember him doing it sort of. I don't know if he did it first, but
it's like a stutter skip, and you're kind of waving your arms down low and then going up high, like you have, like you're pretending like you have glasses or something like that.
Yeah.
Didn't Soupy Sales used to do that? The moose or whatever? Remember that dance from years ago? Fine. Soupy Sales doing. I think it's the moose.
All right, Soupy Sales dance, Soupy Sales moose.
Soupy Sales was a kid's. Television host years ago.
Why don't you forget the moose?
Wow.
For a moment.
All right. So anyhow, the limp, the Alexandria limp, it says here, like most fashion trends, went from nothing to ubiquity and then back to nothing pretty quickly. It was over after a few years, but people were actually doing it.
We'll see if he does the moose.
The moose or the mouse?
Oh, maybe the mouse.
I don't know.
The video says the mouse.
Okay, wait. He does where he puts his hands up on the side of his head. I thought it was the moose.
I don't know. Yeah, because you would think it would be the moose because...
More than a mouse.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, there we go. Maybe it's the mouse.
Okay. Well, anyway.
I missed the icky shuffle. That was a good one.
Yeah. Dude, you know what? Okay.
I enjoyed that a lot.
Never mind.
Well, I know the icky shuffle as an exercise move.
It came back in commercials not that long ago.
And you know what
made
made me mad?
Commercial maybe or something like that. And so they, he got number 41 in the deli aisle, and his number came up at the deli counter, and so he did the icky shuffle again.
Do you know where you saw a lot of that? It was at the Princess Diana funeral.
Can I see the icky shuffle? Can you do it,
Yeah.
Nick? Do you know it?
No.
It's like that.
He's going to break a leg.
It's
true. I don't ask him.
That's the icky shuffle.
Boom.
Yeah, and I think he was at the Super Bowl this year too, doing it again because the Bengals were back in for the first time since he played.
But there was do you know what there's a ladder you lay on the ground, you do these foot exercises through those, and we used to do. My instructor used to tell me to do the icky shuffle, and I didn't know what that. I just thought it was the name of the movement. So
okay,
how about that?
And it was a really good workout. So all right, anyway.
This is where they missed on this commercial though, Nick, and it bothered me the last time.
It's a Geico commercial.
I saw it earlier this week. The number at the deli should have been the number that he was actually wearing as well.
We should make some calls.
Yeah, we should. I'm going to make a phone call.
Do we need to go back to what you were waving off a moment ago, or you want to stay good on that?
I think I was waving that off.
Okay.
The fact that he wasn't wearing the number that they called, because they were like, all right, next up, number 44. Okay. And he goes, oh, 44, that's me. All right. And then he does the icky shuffle. You've
Casey
really
had an
been
issue with
wearing
the
number 30.
I got you.
All right, so limping was apparently a trend at one point.
Well, listen, so that's just as stupid as the Tide Pod Challenge.
Okay, so this one is macaroni, but it's not about the food. You know the line in Yankee Doodle Dandy about sticking a feather in your hat and calling it macaroni. It's not about a noodle. It's a reference to a dumb but awesome trend popular among proto-metrosexuals in the 18th century England.
Did we ever establish what that exact lyric means? Stick a feather in your cap and call it macaroni?
This will explain.
All
it.
right.
Okay, so at the time, macaroni was an exotic dish in England, and eating it was seen as the mark of a well-traveled person. London hipsters started describing everything cool and exotic as very macaroni.
It's very macaroni. It's extraordinarily macaroni.
So before long, macaroni became a slur hurled back at these.
We're macaroni.
At these bourgeois fops who took personal affectation.
You didn't call him a fop, did
You bourgeois fop, you're saying macaroni.
To heretofore unknown levels.
I'll go one level further, you're rigatoni. Your bow tie pasta.
No.
Yes.
Get out.
Oh, this is coming from Angel Hair Pasta.
Shut up, Scapolini. Macaronis might
You
have...
bow tie pasta fop.
So...
How dare you?
So that is absolutely beyond the pale.
The whole thing is actually effete bourgeois fop.
And effete?
Effete. So here's what they would say. Macaronis were known as basically people who were wearing, they were kind of like glams, okay? So a macaroni might have a gigantic wig featuring ringlets tied in ribbons flowing out from a tiny hat adorned with roses.
Somebody you see on RuPaul's Drag Race now.
They had diamond buckles on their shoes and wore rings over their expensive gloves. And they carried around opera glasses, wore perfume, and spent their lives gambling and hanging out looking weird. So, but it was a trend for a while.
So this almost seems like the counterculture of the time. Like, in other words, it's almost a mockery of the upper class.
Kind of like that.
Right?
Well, they just took they were, I think, the upper class.
Oh, they were. Okay, so was it them
that's a good
mocking
question.
them own?
Maybe
their own?
Maybe they were trying to be. No, wait, hang on a second.
Do you think they were like hipsters?
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
So anyhow, the pick, stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni is someone pretending to be.
I got you.
A
baked ziti face
over the top. So, it says here, macaronis were baller. And all 17. Thanks, Marissa. A little bit later on this morning, we have a concert announcement. We'll get to that around 10 o'clock. We have an announcement concerning the Camp Out for Hunger, which we'll do in the next 30 to 45 minutes or so. We also have a guest joining us, Charlie Minn, who has a documentary about Paley Lindbergh called The Swede of Philadelphia. And he'll be in the 9 o'clock hour, so spend some time talking with him. We left Friday emotionally and physically drained. After not only the news about Pierre Robert just being torn from our lives, but those days of reflection and the emotional roller coaster that comes along with stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I know that when we shut the mics off on Friday, I was just like, I just had to sit back and just kind of just take a moment to be still.
Yeah.
But we were surrounded by staff members and family and friends that were all here congregating together. And that was obviously very, very healing for all of us to be around with. There was a lot of hugs and a lot of tears and all of that stuff. It was, which was, you need, you have to have with other people.
It was comforting to have them also usher things along after, we were sort of spent and carry it on over the weekend, and they did an amazing job. Everyone coming in and cycling through, and I was listening and laughing and smiling, and then occasionally the we're not going to have that anymore sort of thing would hit you, and you get emotional, and it's all the proper things that happen in the wake of a loss this big. It's going to continue, as you said many times, but it's really, in a way, Pierre would really appreciate it, made you reappreciate, not that we ever lost appreciation, but for the family of people that are here and for you listening and being a part of our family as well. It means so much.
Yep.
I want to thank Paul Blake, our boss, because he brought in grief counselors on Thursday and Friday, and I spoke to them both days. There was a woman named Lisa on Thursday and a guy named Randy on Friday. And if you listening right now have gone through any loss at any point, talk to a therapist if you can. Talk to a grief counselor. It really made me feel better. Self-care is incredibly important. Mental health obviously is incredibly important, and a counselor can help you get through really difficult times.
So being around other people that feel the same as you do is an important part of the healing and memory process. And Casey had a great idea. You looked at the weather forecast and you were like, man, Sunday's just going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, and it was.
And he's like, and Casey was like, I want to go to Rittenhouse Square. I want to be there. I want to be in Pierre's favorite place. And just be around. And I just want to throw it out if anybody wants to come out.
Very casual, very organic.
Stop by, sit down, have a cup of coffee, whatever it was. Yeah. So we only mentioned it like twice on the show. Then you posted on social media. Marissa put together a really beautiful picture and a little invite for anybody who would like to come out. And honestly, you had said, in case you were like, I don't know if anybody to show up, and maybe we'll get 10 dozen people, 15 people, because it's last minute, it's a Sunday, who knows, people have plans. Yeah. And it ended up being hundreds of people that showed up, which I was so happy to see. I'm bummed out I couldn't make it. We had this gala Saturday and friends in from out of town. We had to take the airport and everything. I just couldn't get there, but I'm so glad that you and everyone else did this event, Case. It was cool. So I want to hear about how it all went.
It was, I mean, listen, I said I was going to get there at like noon. I actually didn't get there on Pierre Standard Time. I got there right at noon. And as soon as I was walking up to the square, I walked down 19th Street. By the way, I walked past the Sterling building, which, I had shared with you guys last week. I don't have many pictures of me and Pierre, and Brian Miller from Chorus Photography shared a photo with me. It's me and him standing on a balcony with the vag.
Our blow-up sex doll.
Blow-up sex doll at the Sterling bubuilding. That's awesome. Where we had done the initial badge project. Yeah. But when I walked upon the square, I saw Marissa and Paul and Chuck and a whole bunch of other staff members standing in a grassy part of the square. And then you could see in the center of the square a gathering of people. I saw a 6 ABC News crew that was there. I walked past La Colombe. I actually went to go into La Colombe because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get a cup of coffee from La Colombe. I walked in there. The line was just wrapped all around. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to come back for my cup of coffee in a little bit. But and then I did. Really, really interesting. So I have a cup of coffee, and I usually drink my coffee black, but I wanted to drink my coffee the way Pierre did. So I'm talking to myself as I'm dressing my coffee with cream and sugar. Right. I go, a cream and 2 sugars, just the way Pierre would. And the woman next to me goes, that's my brother's name. And it wasn't Pierre's sister's. It was just some random woman whose brother's name was Pierre. She's not from this area.
Wait, was it written on your cup?
No, I was talking to myself. I go, loud. Just go, cream and 2 sugars, just the way Pierre does it. She's like, that's my brother's. And so I had to tell her about Pierre Robert because she's not from Philadelphia. They were just in town visiting. And I just thought, just a lot of like weird things that have gone on over the last half a week or whatever. But, it happened upon the square. Marissa had a friend who had brought a speaker and was just playing music.
Okay, I was curious. I saw on the news that there was a PA system. I'm like, well, who brought that over? Because that was needed because there were a ton of people there.
Yeah, I reached out to a guy named Mike. His actual, he goes by Get Up Art. He is a DJ around the city. He's also an artist. He happens to be, and it didn't occur to me until later, he's the same guy that painted the mural of Pierre in Fishtown on the restaurant Salome's. But I just reached out to him. I know he usually, DJs at tailgates, and since it was a bye week, at like 9 o'clock, I was like, hey, can you come on out and play some music? And here's a whole bunch of songs. And he did. He put together a playlist, and it was it was like one of the final missing pieces of the gathering, having music to celebrate with.
Sure. Yeah.
And so you just walk there, and I was there for a couple of hours, and my head was just on a swivel because I had said it, and then Nick kind of peeked his head up. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do that too." And then Marissa was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be there as well." And then Ryan Shuttleworth was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do that." And so it just sort of like started snowballing and cascading, and then dude, like so many people were there, like that I knew and that I didn't know, and I just was overwhelmed and just so happy to see all these people. You know, like Jim McGuinn was there.
Yeah,
you know, like, yeah.
I saw Jim as I was walking into the square. I came in from the other side of 19th and Walnut, and Jim was on his bike. He was getting ready to leave. Jim was our boss at Y100, if you don't know, and it was really nice to see him and get a hug. And I saw pretty much everybody that's worked here in the last 20 years. Queen was there. You guys remember Queen?
Yeah.
Queen
Yeah.
stopped by.
Gosh.
Bill Weston was there. Bill Burns was there. You know, people that don't work here anymore. Kevin Gunn stopped by. Yeah. All the producers were there. Jason was not able to make it. Jason Fayon wasn't able to get there. But Pancake and Ryan Shuttleworth and Michael Anthony Thompson and Kevin Gunn and I were all there. And yeah, just one staff member after another. Then towards the end of it, I guess I was there for, I guess like 2.5, 3 hours, something like that. Towards the end, Pierre's brother came, Renee, and his nephew Brett stopped by. And
Did you see his sisters?
I did see his sisters. Yeah, Clarice and Suzanne were there as well.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Nick, but we're watching the video of it. Was Mike the screaming guy there?
Yes.
We're rocking tonight. Yeah. Okay.
Miller Light in hand.
All right, wanted to make sure. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
So yeah, Clarice and Suzanne were there. They're having a really hard time. So you know, I'm thinking about them. But it was just so many listeners over the years, people that listened a long time ago, people that listened now, and it was just really great to interact. And everybody had something that they wanted to say. All they wanted to do was share a little bit of their love of Pierre with all of us who were there.
Yeah, it was a gorgeous day, and it did my heart good to see all of those people getting together like that. Wow.
It was especially, you know, people had signs made, people dressed up in parrot head outfits and lots of tie-dye. Matt and I just kind of started circling the park probably around like 10 a.m. to just kind of like get a grasp. Also, we were just like woke up and we were just like, what do we do? Let's just go to the
10
park,
a.m.
you
was like
know?
11 a.m. because of daylight savings
that too.
time.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yep.
So, you know, as we're walking around, it's just a normal morning in the square, and you start seeing people, and you see people with dogs and strollers. And then as the gathering started to happen, I kind of started to feel bad, thinking like, oh, this person with a stroller doesn't realize that they're pushing it into a crowd of people, until I realized that they are part of the crowd. Like
Right.
the crowd just spanned generations, and you know there was a whole group of people in like Hooters shirts that had been at the concert with him the week before,
great.
and you know people of all ages, and all ethnicities and racial and sexual orientations, and all of these people were just brought together by this one man, and it was so special being in this one place to just celebrate him together.
Yeah, speaking of the Hooters, David Osickinen was there. Adam Weiner was there as well. And I was going to say something. Oh, I forget what it was.
While you're thinking of that, somebody had texted and said, so happy you guys were able to do this for Pierre and his fans. So bummed I couldn't make it, but I got to spend a day working with my very close friends and we listened all day. So if that isn't indeed the case, this was very impromptu, it was very last minute. If you couldn't make it, totally understood. I couldn't even make it.
I couldn't.
We will plan something big and official down the road for sure that you will know in advance. And if you would like to be a part of that, we will have that eventually.
That's good for me because I want to be a part of it. I could not be there for this, but plans were already well afoot as far as what we might do, something on the order of this, and there's all sorts of things. But yes, if you feel you'd like to be part of a collective like this, to be with other people and honor Pierre, you will have opportunities.
Yeah, and I just wanted to, do something just, immediate and organic, and that's what it was. But it is funny because I got a call from Chuck D'Amico, our boss, on Saturday night, and he was like, "Hey, NBC 10 just ran a piece on this gathering that's happening tomorrow. This might be a little bit bigger than we had anticipated. Have you contacted the Philadelphia police?" And I was like, "No, I have not, and yes, I will." So I called Steve Weiler over at the FOP.
Oh, good.
And I let him know. I'm like, "Hey, listen, the news kind of picked up on this, so we might want to." Let people know. And he was like, well, thank God the Eagles aren't playing, so we don't have a whole detail of police down at the stadiums, for this. But there were a lot of events going on, like the Abate Toy Run. There was a bridge run. There was a few different things going on. But we did need to let, the authorities know that, there would be a peaceful gathering of people. And I was talking to Kevin Gunn, and, beforehand, we're standing there in the shadows of the old MMR studios on Walnut. He said, before Pierre even got here, that's when, John Lennon was killed. And he goes, people just showed up here.
Right.
This is where
people go.
When tragedies happen, people would show up to Rittenhouse Square outside of the MMR studios.
Right.
And so it is really apropos that we are here right now.
Yeah.
When I got to the square and I saw Jim McGuinn, Casey, I was texting with you and Marissa and trying to figure out where everybody was going to be set up or whatever. And Jim was on his way out. And I said, oh, so where is everybody? Because I was coming around the corner. And he's like, well, follow where the crowd of 1,000 people is on the other side, and you'll hear the music, and that's where everybody is. But it was just like, it was difficult to get through. I was looking for you because I wanted to come find you. It was difficult to navigate my way through all of those people to get to where you were on the other side.
Oh, and so many just kind listeners. And they're like, well, where's Casey? Where's Nick? And I was just like, everyone's just around.
Yep.
And to everybody who came up and shared their love for him to us and thanked us for the past couple days on the radio. It was beautiful. I think each one of us were at different emotional states throughout the day too.
Yeah.
So there may have been a moment where we could, sit and talk and listen to a story, and then another moment where you're just holding back tears. You need to kind of run away for a moment. So it was really emotional. And Bill Kane and his wife printed out this huge poster from when they had broadcast in the square. I think it was for the 40th. And it just kind of became the centerpiece of the event. This beautiful photo of Pierre just sitting in the grass.
And there was a really funny moment when that picture was being taken because we're standing around. And by the way, Kathy Romano was there as well, and that was really nice to see her. But so Bill wanted a collection of co-workers, past and present, and we're all standing there. And Chuck just glances, and there's this guy standing next to the picture. He's right next to the picture, and he's like, "Who is that guy?" And we asked Nick, and we're like, "We don't know. We have no idea who this person was." He was a younger dude. But
I just looked at the photo that Bill Kane had sent over. He took this great, and I was like, "Who's that guy?"
Who is this guy?
I'm like, it's 40 some years of there's maybe one person I haven't met.
He's right smack dab in the middle of the photo. He has an Eagles hat on. Looks like a really nice guy.
He probably is a really nice guy.
It's like that guy who was in the wedding reception photo. Man.
Who didn't know anybody, who went to the wrong place.
He was for the somebody else. I'll tell you this: throughout the entire weekend and even Halloween night, Friday night, I had people coming by and trick-or-treaters and parents, giving condolences on and I would have to turn them right back and say, it's all of us.
Yeah.
This is one where we, it felt weird to accept, and I get that it was being directed towards us because we were immediate coworkers,
right.
But it's the city, it's everyone. And it was all throughout the weekend, could not have been more wonderful for people to remember and to just be, no matter where I went, talking about Pierre.
Yeah, we had our Mother's Wish gala on Saturday night, and everybody I was encountering was saying the same thing. And I think that they want to be able to speak to someone who is close to him, and it felt, important to them to pass that message along.
Agreed.
I just remembered, Casey, you were saying you tipped off the FOP so that they could be on site, and we were able to park the MMR vehicle right on Rittenhouse Square in the area. The day before and that morning, I walked to La Colombe. I was like, do you guys know Pierre? Hippie guy that come, and everybody, of course, in the place knew him and are very frequent. He's a frequent customer, and they were like, oh, he just passed, correct? And I said, yep, we're going to have a little gathering, so be prepared. A lot of people will come in. I think a large medium roast was his order in case they ask. Mm-hmm. And it's just special.
I saw a lot of people with coffee cups that had Pierre's name on it.
Yeah.
That they would write with Sharpie, wrote his name. So I think that's a good way to have a little tribute to him. If you order coffee from wherever it is that you may be, and they ask your name, have them write Pierre on there. You know?
And there were some more people that showed up. Some of the guys from Brew Review, Greg came out with a guitar, and they just started jamming. As Mike and Get Up Art's music kind of faded out, these guys started just kind of playing songs around that, like I said, this little tree area where we all just started gathering with the photo, and it's just so special.
Yeah, so I ended up leaving there close to 2:30. I don't. How long did you guys end up staying there?
I think I was there until about 4:30.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had some friends, grabbing some lunch around the corner. They had a glass of wine waiting for me. But then, as Pierre's family was showing up, and it just, I don't know, leaving it just as the way that it was, real as we were standing there with it. Leaving it made it more real that you're ending the day instead of just continuing the celebration. I feel like towards the end, it was a lot of that, of everyone just kind of like getting those final moments of solace together.
Gorgeous day.
It was absolutely perfect day. There were some former Bod Squad girls that stopped by. Christina Kane, Allison Dunlap, Lisa Dennis, and her husband Tony were there. It was really nice to see them. And we went to that new Steven Starr restaurant across the street called Borromini and had a drink in Pierre's honor. and my wife and our friend Eva and I went, and there were people gathering there just to like kind of continue the celebration a little bit. Jim Sutcliffe from Live Nation, he was there. I mean, it was one after another after another. Listeners we've known for a long, long time, and then people that we hadn't seen forever, and then people that I met for the first time yesterday.
Jen Corsilli from Live Nation as well, too.
Hello, Jen.
And Jim and Brent and all these people, too, helped put together this playlist of songs, which is really fun, just like asking people what songs mean something about Pierre to them on his behalf.
Heard a couple other things over the weekend, too. Iron Maiden made mention on stage.
Yeah,
Pierre.
heard about
my
that.
friend Mike let me know about that. And also Don Henley and Irving Azoff.
Yeah.
Irving Azoff, one of the great managers in rock history.
Yeah.
They want to make a donation in Pierre's name, and they were reaching out to the radio station to find out, the best organization to receive that. So, dude, Don Henley. And Irving Azoff. That's just massive. I got that. Dave Wisickinen told me about that.
That is beautiful. Government Mule played the Met on Saturday night and gave him a shout out as well, too, from the stage.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So, yeah, these the love is coming in fast and furious as it should.
They featured him on CBS Sunday Morning yesterday morning. I mean, it was, they were in their passages, which they do every week, they featured Pierre Robert. They also featured Harry Donahue, which I thought was really nice because
both a legend.
Yeah, and Harry passed on the same day as Pierre last week.
Just casually listening to a podcast that the guy that I follow, and he made mention. He's across the country, but anyone who has any connection to any broadcast whatsoever feels a special connection, obviously, to the legend that was Pierre. And it was so cool to see this, as you pointed out earlier, Preston. There will be more events if you feel that you were not able to get down to this and be a part of this. We are working on things because you can't just take care of the Pierre legend with one event.
No.
Yeah.
Very impromptu. There were so many questions coming. It was like, we don't know. Just show up. We're going to hang out. I want to give a special shout out to all of our coworkers too. I mean, listening, finally hearing Jackie being able to come on the air and spend time and share stories, and everyone kind of supported each other. Sarah was here through Brent's show, and Ryan was here with Ray Koob, and everyone was just kind of in the hallways wanting to support each other. Jen Scordo did Friday nights, and I think she was the first person by herself on the air since the message happened. But the phones didn't stop lighting up. In fact, I heard that the phones lit up so much that they kind of broke over the weekend.
Yeah,
they crashed over
Ryan
the
was
weekend.
dealing with that as well.
Because everybody just wanted to share their love, and all of our weekenders, Blake and Ray and everybody and Jason, it was special.
Yep. And as I said earlier, if we don't get back to you from your email messages that you've sent, just know that we're way overwhelmed on that. And it's a great thing to see, but it is an overwhelming amount to try to respond to.
I get to hug Pierre's sisters, and they're definitely reeling.
Yeah, they're having a hard time.
They're having a really, really hard time with this. And, and I shared this with so many people. I'm like, if you're having a hard time with this, just, it's because of like who Pierre was. Like, it's just, and so, the greater the person, the greater the feeling and sense of loss and all that. But, man, I shared a really, really nice hug with both sisters, and like, no, you always say like, never be the first person to end the hug.
Yeah.
And like that ended up happening with both of Pierre's sisters.
Pierre's nephew, Brett, lives in the area, and he had stopped by the radio station on Friday afternoon, and he said something that just meant so much to me. He said, he made everybody feel like they were his best friend. And it was honest and genuine. Any person he came up, it wasn't just a hi, hello. It was a how are you? Tell me your story. And he stood and listened. And no matter whether you knew him for 5 minutes or 5 years or 20 years or 40 years, everybody, was his best friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, a couple of quick phone calls, and then we got to move along. I'm going to go to Karen. Hi, Karen. You're on the air. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, guys. Preston, I'm so glad you're feeling better.
Oh, thank you.
I just want to let you know, I was thinking of you over the weekend, but I was there on Sunday, and I was calling to just thank you, Casey, so much for allowing the fans to come together with all of you, to grieve with you and to be comforted. And I came over to you, and Casey, you gave me the greatest hug. And I just needed to thank you for that because it meant so much to me. I needed that. And, Pierre embodied rock and roll, but more important, he embodied how to be a human being. And he's just he's always going to be a part of Philly and our hearts, and really just, paying it forward and being a good human being. But I just want you to know, as you go through this process, we are all here for you. The fans are all here for you. And yes, we will be patient, and whatever you guys do or need or whatever, we're all here for you, man. We're a family. We're a family.
Agreed.
And we just love you.
That's so kind. It means so much. You're awesome for saying that.
And it's reciprocal. Thank you, Cam. We appreciate that. And we're like I said, we're gonna plan something even bigger down the road, and we absolutely want to make sure that happens. And this is the point I was trying to make, because my mind was kind of wandering there. It's going all over the place. But I'm hoping that in the spirit of Pierre, you can join us for Camp Out for Hunger.
Yeah.
Pierre was a huge part of that. We would call in, he was like,
call in a favor.
Let's call in our reserves.
Yeah.
And Pierre would come out and broadcast live. And that in those first few years with MMR doing it, we'd ask him, hey, do you mind not just doing 1 day broadcast, maybe two, and then it led to 3, and it's like, why don't you do the whole week?
Yeah.
And of course he did. And so it was very, very important to him. And he would be banging the drum super hard this year if he were with us for this event. So you can come out and donate in his name, because we honestly, when he passed last week, after we got over the shock and we started to discuss the nuts and bolts of what do we do?
Yeah.
Part of it was, can we even have this thing?
Right.
Yeah.
It was so sudden. We're like, how can we do this? How can we even
in light of this
go and put on this event with a tent and bands and all this stuff,
confetti and
all that we do? And at first we were like, well, maybe we just don't do it, because we were in shock. And so as the day or two went, and then Rodney Bird was the source of clarity for me on this, who said, he's like, give it a beat, give it a couple of beats. You know it's the right thing to do. It doesn't feel right now, but you'll understand in a little bit. In so many words, he said that. And as the days went on, I'm like, yeah, how can we not?
That is the way to honor him.
Do that.
I don't want to speak out of turn, but to my mind, there was nothing that he felt more connected to more viscerally than the Camp Out for Hunger and the message and feeding people and taking care of people.
Yeah.
So in that spirit, we're going to do a full-blown, Pierre-approved Camp Out the way it should be, and in so doing, make that a tribute to Pierre as well.
Yeah.
Steve, one of his favorite things about Camp Out for Hunger, we talked about this actually many times over the past couple of weeks. We're just, the single person coming down with a single bag of food, a small business, a pizza shop, a small law firm, whatever you are, just you as a small unit coming down and making whatever difference it is that you could be. We always talk about one bag helps so many people. And he really, really, really was passionate about that single, MMR family member that came down, and our extended family, right?
Yeah.
That came down and just made that small donation and doing whatever that it was that you could do. So in his honor, please spread that word that it is really important to come
By
down.
the way, lest we not acknowledge the fact that Pierre did us the greatest amount of charity every Camp Out by allowing us to take a pause.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And handle, and of course, people walk in and see him. We're going to, again, if you want to be a part of a collective that's acknowledging that and celebrating who he was in the spirit of what he was, please come down to the
You're
Camp
right,
Out.
Steve, because after we were done, then we would check in regularly, like hourly. We'd come back and go on the air and continue to bang the message. And we haven't gotten any younger. And so as the years dragged on, we're like, Pierre, can you just take it for the next few hours, man? We got to go take a nap.
I'm just going to lie in a bath.
And of course he did, and did it in the only way that he does it, which is amazing.
And then we'd come back at night.
Yeah, he'd come back at night for these events. So speaking of night, we are going to have an announcement here in a little bit, an event that is coming up. I do want to pass this along because I think this is a great idea. Somebody had texted in about it earlier. Somebody emailed me about it. I don't know if they're the same person or not, but how great would it be? And I don't know if this would happen or not because I don't know how much money or what kind of approval you need to get. But if there were a bronze statue of Pierre sitting on the bench at Rittenhouse Square with a cup of coffee, reading a book, if that could somehow or another come together, I think it would just be beautiful and amazing. And people could sit next to him and maybe take a photo.
There's a petition right now.
Is there a petition for that very thing?
For that very thing right now.
Make that happen.
Yeah.
And obviously Pierre would listen, he would demur from that, but I think the city needs it to remind. If you want a constant reminder of the good in people as you're walking through the park, that would be Pierre Robert right there, and I don't think there's anybody who would argue with that. I love that idea.
Steve, let's get the same artist who did that Lucille Ball statue.
Yes, yeah. Is that the Iron Sheik? No, that's Pierre Robert.
Robert.
We made a bad mistake.
I actually know the artist that does the busts of the flyers that they're in the hallway at the Xfinity Mobile Arena, and she's an incredible artist, and she's done all of the recent ones over the last 10 years or so. I'll reach out to her.
All right.
Sarah Parker blew my mind. I was looking at her stories, and there was a photographer that was walking around Rittenhouse Square the day Pierre was in the square last Sunday and took that final photo and took a photo of Pierre.
Oh, okay.
We'll pull it up. I'll share it on our accounts as well, too.
Just by happenstance?
Just by happenstance. Wait, I'm going to go to
Well, that would be great because you could use the photo that he posted on social media, and that one is another reference point for that very statue, if we can make something like that happen.
Silver held 9, and it says, I knew Pierre from listening to MMR through high school. Life's journeys brought us together on October 26th, 2025. I was walking, looking for interesting people in the square to photograph. I saw Pierre, made a couple candid images of him. While he kept reading his book and walking, it occurred to me that I recognized him. I approached him and said, "Are you Pierre?" He answered yes. I introduced myself as a photojournalist working on a Rittenhouse Square book. We talked about the vintage photo gear I had and continued in a warm, friendly conversation about the city and my Philadelphia Orchestra concert experience that day. My path that day was special and bittersweet.
Oh, wow.
It's just beautiful.
Silver Hade, or what is it? I can't see.
I couldn't see it either. I need your help.
I think it's Halid, Halide 9.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Wow. Those I'm looking at the photos. Those are excellent. So, all right. Well, anyhow, Case, great idea.
Yeah.
Wonderful. More coming down the road. Tributes to Pierre will carry on forever as long as this radio station exists. So, we do need to take a break. We'll come back in a moment. We have a couple of announcements to make when we get back. One of them concerning camp. Actually, they both concern the camp out.
They do, yes.
And we'll get to the bizarre file as well. So we'll be back in just a moment. Make sure you stay with us. Macaroni haters should step off.
Oh, wow.
Step off.
That's what it says.
Don't you dare come up in my grill.
All right. Here's another trend or fad or challenge from back in the day. This is the historian section, and we're pointing out trends, things that you might see on TikTok and social media that these have kind of always existed. Dance marathons.
Dance marathons. Now, brutal quite often.
Yes.
There is a great movie called They Shoot Horses, Don't They, with Jane Fonda, and it examines this fad of the 20s primarily, was it not?
It was, yeah.
All right,
it was in the dance trend.
During the Depression.
Yep.
So and they would provide all these prizes and things, and literally it was dance till you drop.
Mm-hmm. So it started in the 1920s as light entertainment, part of the same breezy, let's see how long we can do a thing vibe that gave us like pole sitting. But by the 1930s, dance marathons had metastasized into public spectacles of cruelty. Curious people would pay $0.25 to watch bleary-eyed dancers drag each other around a ballroom, sometimes for weeks at a time.
Have you ever seen the movie They Shoot Horses, Don't They?
No.
So, Preston, now that I'm thinking about it, it's very similar to American Idol, or so people would come and sit in the stands and they would pick their favorite couples, or they'd pick the people they were supporting, and they would bring prizes or donate food or money and stuff like that. There's one scene where in fact it's running on the screen here in the studio, where Red Buttons, who's an old guy, has a heart attack, and his dance partner is picking him up and trying to move him across.
Oh my God.
And they would so it wasn't just dancing, they would do these little races, and a siren would go off. They'd get about 10 minutes to go back, go to the bathroom, whatever, quickly. And they were all taking speed and everything to stay awake. It was horrible.
So the dancers themselves were a mix of Depression-era poor folks for whom a couple of $100 in prize money was life-changing. And also ringers, secretly hired by shady promoters, often so that they wouldn't have to pay out on the prize.
So the guy who's running the thing is a great actor, Gig Young, and he's like, hey, he's selling this as how he fought in WW2, or not at that time, WW2 or World War I or whatever, but he's talking about, the sailor, and come on, show your support, and it's a big thing. But the thing the movie that captures so well is, as you said, how cruel it was. It was unrelentingly cruel.
At least one person died during these displays, and sleep deprivation psychosis was seen as well. Eventually, city government started banning the contest because the whole thing was so distasteful. The trend has a real legacy, though. Every charity walkathon owes a spiritual debt to this fad as well, because they started these thons, these long things.
It's true. Yeah, I didn't even think about where it all came from, but it is those dance marathons.
And Nick pulled up some of the stats from the most famous thon we know, which is the Penn State thon.
Yeah, which does incredible work.
And celebrating its 50th anniversary.
And this year.
In fact, Thon 2022 shattered the 2014 record by raising, listen to this, $13,756,374 to combat childhood cancer. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
And that one is not cruel.
Yeah, didn't Fonzie and Joni do a dance-a-thon?
I think they did. Yeah.
Fonzie and Joni?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That sounds familiar. Interesting. All right. And then I think I only have one other thing here, one other trend, one other
These are interesting.
fad. Yeah, I thought they were kind of
cool. Man. Fonzie looked really tired at the end of it.
Oh, you watching a video clip of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
He really worked hard.
Poor Fonzie.
I know.
Where's the one? That wasn't the one where he's, unbeknownst to him, dancing with Richie in drag and blows in his ear?
Oh, my God. No, I don't think so. That's pretty great, though. You remember that blowing in the ear?
Oh, yeah.
That was a thing.
That was a thing, too, blowing in the ear.
Blow in their ear. Would you stop blowing in my ear, please? It's very loud.
Well, they're hugging and he goes, Fonzie, it's me. And then you see the look on his face.
All right. The last trend that I will mention from the past is what's called nightshade eye drops.
Never. Oh, wait.
Kathy, you'll find this interesting.
Maybe I have heard of this.
No beauty trend on TikTok is as disturbing as the Victorian practice of using deadly nightshade eye drops. Belladonna, which is the plant, causes the pupils to dilate and the eyes to water, which can give you a smoldering, dark-eyed, doe-like look. And if you're going for pale wan, tuberculosis hip, it will give you watery eyes, too.
Wow.
Prolonged usage can lead to blindness. Nightshade is extremely poisonous, like Steve said. And if you're wondering what it would feel like to put belladonna into your eyes, you probably already know. Your optometrist has probably used drops that contain the synthetic version of atropine, the eye-opening ingredient in belladonna, so you can picture walking around all day, every day, with that I just left the eye doctor feeling.
That's effed up.
I hate that. I hate that feeling.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
It ruins my whole day.
So when you get your eyes dilated?
Oh, it gives me a headache. I can't see. I don't know how it's legal that they let me leave and drive home. I just don't get it.
Will they now give you the option to use the other thing?
I have to ask because my eye doctor still dilates my eyes. So I need to ask. But I remember you mentioning
What is the other thing?
It's a device that they have you look into, and it takes. I think they're taking a look at your retina, and I may be way off on this when they dilate your eyes like that, and it just costs extra. Like insurance doesn't cover it, so it's like costs $30 or something to do that. And I'm always like, yeah, I'll do that rather than have my eyes blasted open for the rest of the day.
Well, so do you remember the puff of air you used to get in the eye? So they don't.
I hated that.
Hated that too. Yeah. So they don't do that anymore. They've advanced on that.
Right.
But that's not what you're talking about, Preston.
Nope.
It's the
It's an eye queef.
Yeah, and they are looking at your retina when they.
It's you look inside this contraption, and you're supposed to look at this green light or something like that, and it takes a really good look.
What's it? Do you know? Find out what it's called because I have to go. I'm due, and I'm asking for that.
Yeah, I need new glasses. I need to go in for a look.
Well,
too.
when you go in, just draw a picture of it.
Yeah, it looks like this. Do this thing. Right. Another thing, actually, there was one more on here that I left off, and it just says Evel Knievel. But
well, that was the
not just Evel Knievel, but people started jumping
things.
You know?
Again, we go back to the happy days, the garbage cans in the parking lot of the diner.
Yeah,
and then obviously jump the shark.
Yep.
But I remember the Evel Knievel thing, the jumping. Other people started to do it as well, but
kids did.
Knievel owned it.
But you would set up ramps in your backyard,
God.
And so it became popular to jump your brothers, for example, and, anything that you could find to make jumps out of.
Yeah, here, and it says here, crashes or not, kids across America watched live broadcasts of his stupid, dangerous displays, bought the Evel toys, and imitated Evel's foolish stunts on their big wheels and Schwinn's. There is no statistic on the number of compressed vertebrae and chipped teeth that were caused by imitating Evel Knievel.
I remember as a kid getting the Snake River Canyon Evel Knievel toy.
Yeah.
You'd pull like a cord out of it, and it would. But the actual stunt itself, and this was a big deal. He was going to jump Snake River in a rocket motorcycle. The thing got about 40 feet, 30 feet off the edge of the cliff, and the parachute deployed instantly.
It didn't work at all. So anyhow, these are fads, these are trends that were around before social media, and just as stupid as the ones that are done today. So it's just what we do. It's what
we are stupid.
We do. Thought I would share that with you. All right, we should take a break and come back in a moment. Secret text word. We got some tickets to Philly Auto Show. We want you to win, so text word secret to 39333. We'll see if you win by the end of the program. Back in a moment.
Preston and Steve.
So I would go
stink is in the name.
Get something like a tissue or whatever.
Yeah.
Now I grab them with my hand and throw them outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they don't bite or anything.
No,
right?
they don't bite or anything, but still, they're,
They say though, like if you can flush them, or because if you crack them, the pheromones, well, that also attracts other stink bugs.
I throw them outside.
Well, I mean, the look of this thing, though, come on.
It looks terrifying.
Yeah, it looks terrifying. I would not be okay if I found this anywhere near me. So I just had this debate with a friend of mine. We were first talking about mice and snakes, and she lives on a farm, and she had a mouse in her sink, and it couldn't get out because it couldn't crawl up the walls of the steel sink, and so she had to FaceTime her mom and dad because her husband was away to help her get it out and what to do, and she had to put the cup over it, slide the plate underneath it, and then of course she threw it literally right outside the door. Her mom was like, "It's gonna come back in."
Right. It wants to be inside.
So anyway, we were talking about that, and I go, "Well, at least it wasn't a snake." She goes, "No, I'll take a snake over a mouse." I was like, "No, no kidding way."
That seems to be opposite of what most people would probably say.
I would die. I was cleaning out my planters, and there was this little tiny thing in there, and I was digging. I had gloves on, but I was digging my hands in to get some of the soil out, and that thing moved, and I almost died.
I would love to have seen that.
I would love to have seen that. I was like, "Jace, come here, get that!" And he picked it up with his hands. He's like, "This?" I'm like, "Oh my God, get it out of here! Take it away!" Yeah, I was
snake?
dying. It was a snake.
And you let Chase go in and grab it with his bare hands?
He was fine. Okay. He was like, "I'll get it."
All right.
Kids are good with the venom, Preston.
Yeah.
But anyway, then it went to spider. We both agreed. We were like, well, at least it's not a spider. And so if it had these colors, it's to me that looks deadly.
Yeah, I don't know. I listen. I think it is a good-looking bug.
Okay. Question with that: are you the type that would allow a spider to crawl on you and have no problem with that?
No.
Okay. All right.
Not that good looking.
No way.
But I'm not bugged out by them. A lot of times I'll let spiders go in my house because they take care of the other bugs.
No, I will as well, depending on because they will take care of the others, and that's fine. Like in the basement or something like that. But I see this thing crawling around. I'm moving.
Still in my house.
We used to have, when I lived in the South, there were these big yellowish spiders, and I forgot what they were called. And they would get huge, man.
Look at the story. Yes, I know. And
it had yellow markings on it, but I don't remember what it was.
Are those out west as well? Because I remember.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I don't know what breed, but we were talking like this. Like a recluse is pretty big as well, right?
It's not that big.
Not as big as this mother effer.
But I mean, maybe bigger than a $50 or something like that. Maybe that size.
And we had the story last week about the guy actually started to have, he had flesh-eating disease because of it.
Yeah, it'll necrotize. It'll actually kill the parts of your flesh, and it can be messed up. Hang on, Tom's got a spider story. Hey, Tom, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, buddy. What's up?
Hey, so I work in New Jersey. I'm a meter reader for a utility company. I'm actually doing the route today, but I have to go into utility rooms to read a meter, and we leave messages for each other on our little processors. They give us heads up about stuff.
Okay.
And I come up to this route, and the message says Spider Cave, and I am just like,
oh no,
I'm just
Spider Cave.
What am I getting into? So I find the utility room. I open the door. There is a ton of cobwebs and spider webs everywhere, which I'm used to. I start kind of cleaning up the webs to make my way to the meter, and no joke, about 5 or 6 spiders dropped from the ceiling.
Oh.
And I was just like, nope. I got out of there, and the rest of the day, I was like stripping my sweatshirt off, like just panicking that something's crawling on me.
Dude, yes. No, so any idea, did you even have enough time to identify what type of spiders they might have been?
It was so dark in there, I couldn't even see it.
Yeah.
And like, you know how they show those videos of people outside in the dark, you see all those glowing little things in the grass, and it turns out they're spiders.
Right.
After they all fell, I shined it up into the ceiling, and I could see like little specks. I'm like, yeah, I'm never going in there again.
Go in with a flamethrower, man. That's.
Oh, I wish. I wanted to go like Alien Ripley.
Wow.
Oh, no,
That's terrible, Tom.
yeah.
All right, thanks, man.
I can't take that.
Nick pulled up a chart of spiders in the United States and their level of dangerousness,
right,
or danger, however you want to put it. So, the brown there are 3 that are ranked as deadly and dangerous.
Okay.
This is the Black Widow is another. I remember seeing those when I was a kid.
Wait, so
they're
we
easy to spot.
We have all of these here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like in our house? Like they'll come in our house?
Yeah, they're in
you
your
can
home
have
right
it.
now.
It's like 6 underneath your chair right now.
I put some in your coffee.
And Steve, one I've never heard of called the hobo spider.
Yeah, they ride trains and eat stew.
So here's a spider bite first aid for those are keep the patient calm, apply ice to decrease the pain and swelling, and use anti-inflammatories for pain relief, and contact your doctor.
If you're working around,
take some Advil and you'll be okay.
Exactly. If you're working around in your garage or in your basement, and you need to wear gloves if you're moving stuff around. I always do.
Yeah. All right, here are the and then the other levels. So those are the deadly and dangerous.
Right.
Then you have toxic, which is poisonous, painful bite. So maybe like a bee sting, or something like that. So you have the female mouse spider, which appears to be the biggest of all of these.
How big?
The largest body. I don't know. I'm just looking at, pictures of them.
That thick black spider?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's got large pinchers and a big butt on it. So
I like big butts. I can't deny.
You can't deny that. Point to the mouse spider for him, Nick. Yeah, that one.
Oh, all right.
Then you have the male mouse spider, which is smaller than that. The black house spider and the wolf spider. So these they can sting you essentially with their bite. They've got a venom. It's not going to kill you. Probably won't make you sick, but it'll hurt you. And then you have the low-risk spiders are the female trapdoor, the male trapdoor, the garden orb weaving, the St. Andrew's cross, and the huntsman spider.
Huntsmans are big.
About that, yeah. And
we don't have those here, do we?
It says USA spider chart.
Are you kidding me?
Maybe they're around somewhere. And by the way, the one I was talking about, and we had a picture of it here a second ago that I used to see when I was a kid, was a yellow garden spider. Okay. Those things got huge. And this is terrible. I used to grab crickets or grasshoppers and throw them in their web. Thank you, Marissa. Listen, we have 2 announcements to make. Let's do this one right now, all right, Casey, if that's okay. So our Camp Out for Hunger is going forward as planned, as we spoke earlier about the whole thing, and we're looking forward to the event. And one of the things we love is when people get on board and they help us out with this event, just like you with your donations. We also have groups and organizations and advertisers that jump on board. We did this last year. We are doing it again. It is time for the return of the Preston and Steve Nifty 50s Gingerbread Blast Milkshake, which is ridiculously yummy.
Come on, man.
Yes.
It's so friggin' awesome. I'm so excited it's back. They said, hey, you want to do another flavor? And we all said, no.
No.
We love this one.
Yep. And there's something new and interesting that comes along with that. We're going to welcome our friend Jackie from Nifty 50s this morning. Hi, Jackie. How you doing? Good. Okay, you got to get way close to that microphone, and we need a little more excitement out of you. Jackie, how you doing?
Great.
All right.
There we go.
That's as excited as Jackie
Jackie's
gets.
just low-key, but she gets the job done.
So, Jackie, before we go through the ingredients of the Gingerbread Blast milkshake, what's awesome and cool and new that comes along with this?
So everyone gets a commemorative cup this year.
Oh. Yeah.
And Steve Nifty 50s Camp Out for Hunger cup.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's red. It's got the Preston and Steve logo on it. It says Camp Out for Hunger as well.
And man, the
of course,
shake looks good in it.
The Nifty 50s logo. And this is reusable, and you'll be able to hang on to this for good. And so, Jackie, what is in the Gingerbread Blast milkshake flavor-wise?
So it's vanilla ice cream, malt, rum syrup, cinnamon sugar, brown sugar, topped with whipped cream, cinnamon sugar, and a gingerbread man, and a cherry.
And a cherry.
And a gingerbread man,
Oh,
too.
my God.
Yeah.
So, wait, one more time. Go through that again. So we have what?
Vanilla ice cream, rum syrup, malt syrup, crushed graham cracker, brown sugar, topped with whipped cream, cinnamon sugar.
Dude, come on.
Cherry and a gingerbread man.
So the rum syrup, I have never had that before other than when I didn't know that was in there, but the malt, got to make sure you have malt in there.
You both, we're both super huge fans of that, and I think that's what gives it. So if you're looking at something that approximates the taste of gingerbread, that's this shake.
Yes. So it starts today through November 23rd. If you order the Gingerbread Blast milkshake at any Nifty 50 location, a portion of the proceeds are going to benefit the Camp Out for Hunger. So you get an awesome, tasty shake, and you're going to be sharing in the donation from our friends at Nifty 50s and helping this be the biggest Camp Out for Hunger we can possibly make it.
There's something that laughably occurs sometimes when you have a Nifty 50 shake, and and it happens to me every time. I'm just going to try. I'm going to just sip a little bit. I'm going to try a bit of this. You know what I'm saying? It never ends there. It's at the bottom of the cup, sucking up the last drops because that's what you do.
I'm literally, that's my life right now.
Well,
I was just going to take a little sip.
We were taking a picture, Steve, and I just put my lips on the straw, and I didn't suck because I knew I would have been dead in the water.
I handed mine back to
milkshake
Marissa.
Polisher offer.
Take it away. After we're on air, I'll do it, but not now. I can't.
All right, so Jackie, you can go get one today, right? At any Nifty 50s location. And how many locations in our area?
10.
Okay, 10 locations. And nifty50s.com to find the one nearest you, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
And
excellent.
How long will this be available?
Till November 23rd.
November 23rd. Okay, so
right.
get in on it now. And we can't be happier with this union between you guys and the Camp Out for Hunger. And we need you this year. And selfishly, we're glad this flavor is back.
Yep, absolutely. Jackie, thank you so much. We love
Thank
this.
you.
All right, appreciate it. All right, so, and in fact, in honor of that, I have a $50 gift card to give away.
Nice.
I'll take caller number 18-610-660-9333, and you will have yourself, and while you go to Nifty 50s, have some burgers, have their hot dogs are out of this world, too. Casey and I went there for official hot dog day a few years back. So right now, caller number 18-610-660-9333. You got to try the Gingerbread Blast milkshake. It is back, and you get the commemorative cup as well. Is commemorative the right word?
Yeah, I say commemorative, yeah.
All right, so we will set you up with that, and we'll continue to bang that. All right, we have an announcement after we get to the Bizarre File.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. They are asking for your support for the Camp Out for Hunger as well. Donate a jar of peanut butter at participating bars and try a Screwball on special while you are there. Details available at WMMR.com/campout. I'm going to start with a very unfortunate story. But 5 German mountaineers died after being hit by an avalanche.
Heard about this.
In northern Italy, rescuers said on Sunday. 3 victims, 2 men and a woman, had already been recovered on Saturday, while the bodies of 2 other missing people, a man and his 17-year-old daughter, were found on Sunday morning. They had been dragged to the lower part of the gully where the avalanche occurred, apparently. The mountaineers, all Germans, were hit by the avalanche at about 4 p.m. on Saturday while climbing near Cima Vertana in the Ortles Mountains, which is an altitude of more than 11,500 feet. It's unknown why the climbers were still on their way up at the relatively late hour. According to initial information, the climbers were in 3 groups and were traveling independently of each other. So it must have been a big avalanche.
Yeah, and it's weird because they do monitor that stuff, supposedly quite thoroughly, but you still get these situations.
2 men survived the accident and were taken by helicopter to a hospital. All right, we go from that to a story of survival. A French cyclist survived for 3 days after a horrendous 130-foot fall into a ravine and was kept alive by the bottles of red wine that he had in his shopping bag. The 77-year-old missed a bend on his bike on his way home from the supermarket on a lonely road in the mountainous Cevennes region, careening down a rocky slope and into the ravine. Unable to climb out, the man tried to shout every time a vehicle had passed, but apparently no one could hear his cries.
You know what? I love you.
As the hours turned into days, he was sustained by the bottles of wine that he was taking home to his caravan.
Help! I need some cheese and a baguette.
Finally, passing road workers heard him yell and spotted the twisted frame of his bicycle. A helicopter airlifted him to the hospital with rescuer Dr. Laurent Savath calling his survivor a miracle, given the cold and the rain.
You're a miracle.
I want to kiss you.
I want to come here. I want to kiss you.
And
I want to kiss you.
And he had almost nothing to eat or drink other than the wine.
Doesn't matter.
The doctor said he's really tough.
I'm so tough. Look, I got a muscle.
He fell into a stream several times trying to scramble back up, so he was at risk of hypothermia.
Do you love me more than all the fishies in the stream?
The cyclist ultimately escaped his predicament with only minor injuries.
I can't even say predicament.
And let's try it again.
Predicament.
It's close enough.
It's what?
Can you say hypothermia?
Bro.
He had mild hypothermia, but he survived.
Yeah, that's amazing. So always, if you're going on a long cycling trip, bring a bag full of wine.
That's it. If we have not learned anything today, we have learned that. So the federal investigation into who dumped more than 300 piles of human remains in the desert outside Las Vegas continues as a funeral home stepped up Wednesday to recover them. They first reported the discovery of more than 100 piles of cremated remains in August. The person who found the ashes said that he stumbled onto the piles on July 28th in a desert area outside of Searchlight, and that's a rural community about an hour south of Las Vegas. In August, a Bureau of Land Management official confirmed the piles were human cremains and that the department was actively investigating.
Aren't there signs asking you not to dump your huge pile of human cremains?
On Wednesday, representatives from Palm mortuaries and cemeteries removed approximately 315 piles from the desert. A second area containing more piles was found near the dump site. The piles are likely the work of a commercial funeral home, they said, a business that several sources confirmed. They had moved each pile into a bag and into an individual urn.
Your loving remains, right?
Yeah.
Jesus.
During the recovery effort. So there's no law in Nevada barring a person from scattering ashes on public land. State law requires funeral operators to preserve the dignity of any remains in their care. The Bureau of Land Management policy allows for a person to scatter cremated remains. However, the policy limits commercial distribution of cremated remains. A mass dumping site like this one likely violates federal law.
It would have to be, right? So if somebody is bringing family members or whatever in for cremation, I don't even know how you get that much in the way of cremated remains.
Yeah, I don't know. But it was a business that I guess it had, I don't know if they held on to them for whatever reason.
What were they giving back to the people? I don't know. I don't understand any of this.
All right. A Hopkinsville, Kentucky woman received a shocking delivery Wednesday night when she reportedly opened a package expecting medicine, but instead she found human body parts. The coroner, Scott Daniel, confirmed that arms and fingers used in medical training were accidentally delivered to the home instead of the woman's medication order.
These are not my liver pills.
The incident is believed to involve an airline company, a freight company, and a courier, Daniel said.
What's in the box?
The coroner retrieved the misdelivered body parts and transported them to the morgue, where they will be returned to the carrier for proper delivery to their intended destination.
So I know that at Amazon you can bring it back to a Kohl's, so maybe they can do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to check. Daniel confirmed that body parts are sometimes shipped for transplants and research purposes.
Could you imagine that?
No.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it was so close to Halloween, too.
Right.
They might go,
think it's a
look at
prank.
this.
It looks real.
These look
it's like
real.
Tropic Thunder.
All right. And there you go. That's what I have in the bizarre file for you. All right. We have yet another announcement to make. So this concerns Camp Out for Hunger. We just told you that Nifty 50s is returned with the Preston and Steve Gingerbread Blast Milkshake to raise funds for Comedy Night. Jesus. What
What is it going to do?
So many hungry comedians out there. Nothing is as tragic as a comedian trying to piece together a meal.
They're just not very funny.
For Camp Out for Hunger. Can you guess what I'm about to announce now?
What is it?
Dear God. Hey, it's Camp Out for Hunger Comedy Night.
Oh my God.
There are hungry comedians around the world who can make a difference.
Oh, my head is so far up my ass sometimes. It's just incomprehensible. All right. We're doing comedy night tonight again at the Camp Out for Hunger. We've taken a couple of years off from this. We're gonna reinvigorate this event. It was so much fun to have these comedians to come out actually to the Camp Out for Hunger and put on a free comedy show, free per se.
Yeah.
And that you need to make a donation in order to attend. So the show is going to be the Tuesday night of Camp Out for Hunger. So it's Tuesday the 11th. And it will be at the Miller Time Beer Hall inside of Stateside Live. Now, for those of you who do not know all these names, that's because the names have changed. It used to be Xfinity Live, it is now Stateside Live. And now the venue inside is called the Miller Time Beer Hall. So that's where we will be doing it. And we are excited that we have some good friends on board to perform for you that night. The show will start at 7:30. You need to be there by 7. There is a Sixers game that night.
Yes.
We're going to do this a little bit earlier because Sixers, there's not like there's tailgate or anything like that. So parking's going to be available on the earlier side. So we want you to show up for this. And we will have featured, like I said, some very good friends of ours. Blake Wexler.
Excellent.
Jake Matera. Mary Redzinski. I cannot say her name. Redzinski.
Redzinski.
That N is silent?
Redzinski.
Redzinski.
That's a typo from
Thank you.
your boy here.
All right.
Okay.
So Mary Redzinski, our buddy Pat House.
Yeah, terrific.
And headlining the night, so funny and a great guy, Ian Fidance is going to be there.
So we love him. We love this collective of people. It's almost like homecoming, obviously Jake, we go back with all these people who've been so good and actually some got their start on the show. And they're terrific. They're working, headlining comedians and to have that bill is wonderful.
We didn't even complete the sentence when we asked Ian Fidance to do this. We were like, hey, we're doing this thing at our Camp Out for Hunger. Would you? Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so he's going to come in early. He's going to join us on air on Tuesday morning to promote the event as well. But and then he was curious about the bill for the night, and I was rattling through the names, and
we'll take care of it.
He's worked with every single one of them.
Oh yeah,
and he is so excited about this whole lineup. I mean, listen, man. The entire lineup is amazing.
They're great.
Yeah,
they're great. And honestly, it's also they're friends, and it's going to be nice to have that collective of people hanging out for this event. Obviously, we've made no bones about the fact that this year is a tough one because of just multitude of circumstances, and obviously the most recent occurrence, which we all know. So to have these friendly faces who are also super talented, it's terrific.
Yep. So keep that in mind. It's going to be on Tuesday night, the 11th, a week from tomorrow. Doors open at 7, showtime 7:30, and we'll have Blake Wexler, Jake Matera, Mary Redzinski, Pat House, and Ian Fidance all on stage to perform some sets for you. Make sure you bring your non-perishable food donations to benefit Phil Abundance. That is required. And you can go to WMMR.com/campout for all of the information there. So we're stoked about this event coming up. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back in just a moment or two. We have a lot of things planned for today. I'll tell you about some of it when we get back. Stay right there. It would just like fly right over and just wrap them up really fast.
It's like that. Exactly. That's an actual audio of a spider. It's like that scene in Lord of the Rings when
dude, giant spiders scare the hell out of me.
Well, and we've talked about
I hate that.
There's no, hey, the line, hey, spider, are you feeling okay today? There's no feeling.
No.
There's no nothing.
Yeah. So you take like a lion or something like that. Okay. There's eyes. There's some type of.
There's a soul, maybe.
There's something in there.
You can pet it.
Something. But a spider.
It's a machine.
Yes. Something like that.
It won't stop.
Ever.
Until you're dead.
Which call you want me to go to your case?
Line 1.
All right. Let me go to Paul. Hey, Paul. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. What's up, Paul?
I was bitten by a brown recluse before, and as I was telling her, that I've had back surgery, I've had neck surgery, I've had 2 knee replacements. That spider bite was some of the worst pain I've ever felt in my life.
All right, so Paul, the initial bite or the pain that you experienced afterwards?
Now, I had an open wound for 3 months.
An open wound for 3 months. That's actually common.
The reason I ask you that, Paul, is because I had a friend who had a similar thing. He was bitten on the leg, and he eventually went to the hospital, and sure enough, a hole started forming in his leg. And so, but he didn't remember, like, being bitten at the time. Did you?
No, I did not.
Okay. All right. So it was just, it was
the
after it got
aftermath.
in there
That
and the
seems to be-
venom did its work, right?
Like common, doesn't like because people that I know have been bitten will notice a circle. I guess it is. Is that the
It's like a target.
right?
A blood blister had formed. I went to the ER. They lanced it. And then they said, when I went back, the skin was still hanging off. And they said, if it doesn't come off, we have to take it off surgically. So I went home and took it off myself with a razor blade. I don't know if that
Sounds like you went to the same medical school your dad went to.
Yep.
Brett.
My dad must know you. Yep.
It took about 3 months to heal, and the wound was the size of about a quarter. They gave me cream that they give to burn victims.
Did they give you antibiotics, Paul?
Yeah, they gave me antibiotics.
Yeah.
They gave me pain medicine. And they
Jesus.
said if it didn't heal by itself, they were going to have to close it surgically. But thank God it healed.
Wow.
Oh, from a little rat prick spider.
And very painful. Just sore to the touch all around that area, I would assume.
Extremely. It was on the top of my right foot. I had a really hard time walking.
All right. Well, glad you got through that. Thank you, Paul.
That's the reason why I am not going to stand there and look at it and decide whether or not it's that or something else. Sorry, you're in
dead.
my house, you're getting smushed.
By
know
the
what you
way,
mean.
there's a certain similarity to the way a lot of them look, and I don't know if I want to.
No, I don't want to.
I don't want to interview them.
No.
We're looking at a picture. It says, how to identify a brown recluse spider. And this guy's got it sitting on the palm of his hand.
If it bites you and it hurts, it's a brown recluse spider.
There you go. That's how you identify
Good
it.
luck
Ow.
with the hole in your flesh.
Let's go to Tom here. Tom, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are y'all this morning?
Great. Tom, what's up, buddy?
Oh, we got a crazy story here,
All right.
and I think that Kathy's going to love this one. So,
Great.
so my son loves to collect bugs and all kinds of stuff, like cockroaches, those little like roly-poly bugs and so
Yeah.
forth.
Ugh.
My wife was sort of okay with that. She's like, yeah, that's good, and he holds them in these bins. So he came home one day. Now my son's 15. He came home one day, no lie, he ordered 2 scorpions.
What?
Online. Black scorpions. My wife was, she went out for the day. She went shopping. I'm not coming back. She came back. My son said, okay, they're in bins. They won't get out. What do you think happened that
Oh, are you kidding?
Yep.
one scorpion got out, and so they hide during the day. So you can't find them during the day. They'll tuck anywhere, under pillows, under beds, wherever. The only way to really find them is at night. And the only way to find them is if you have an infrared, sort of like a black light, sort of like a light that you could like point and shine.
Yeah.
So my wife went next door. She spent the night somewhere else. So Frank and I,
Yeah, damn right.
we are hunting for these scorpions, and lo and behold, when you hit them at night, they will shine like a bluish, like a green, almost like neon. So my wife was about ready. We found it. We put it back in the bin, and my wife was about ready to put the house up for sale.
Oh, my-
So let me ask you: a black scorpion. What are the what's the data on these? Are they venomous or what's the story?
They are, but they won't kill a human.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure because
Your wife didn't care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I don't
I
care.
wouldn't care either.
I think they, I think they kill like rabbits and mice and stuff like that. So we still have one. One of them died, so that's good. But just a side story on this, then I'll let you guys get back to your job here. But the one had babies.
Oh, my God.
Oh, really?
Oh, dear
And
God.
when they have babies, these things are like translucent white, and there was about 75 of them, and they stay on.
Oh, my God.
And they stay on top of the mother.
Uh-huh.
But you got to separate them out. if you don't separate them out quick enough, the mother will start eating her own.
And that's the species we're talking about here, folks.
So you wonder why? Right. When was the last time you went to a human maternity ward and saw mom chowing down on her kid?
All right, thanks, Tom.
Talk about horror stories. This is what nightmares are made of.
That's great. Thanks, man.
Nick, if you want, I'll send over some photos of the baby.
Yes, please.
And it's neon, and you guys can post it. It is, dude, you won't sleep for days.
All right, I want to see it.
I'll be sure to show it to Kathy, too.
By the way, for just a moment while we were talking to Tom, I felt like a little tingle on my leg. I had to reach down. Make sure someone was
A lot of people don't know that we keep a studio tarantula.
Oh, my God. Tarantulas freak me out. They're too big.
Yeah.
They're too big.
I was ever
And
since the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, in case I don't know what it is. It looks like fur. I mean, when you get up to the.
That's one of those things, Steve, I don't think I could ever do. I can hold a snake, I can hold a python and have you wrap it around my neck and stuff like that, but I don't think that I would allow a tarantula to crawl on me. And I know that it won't do anything to me, but I just don't care.
Preston, good rule of thumb, any bug whose hair you can comb is too big.
This sounds weird. I'm going to go to Dave. Hey, Dave, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. What's up, Dave?
Hey, just real quickly. I had a friend who was moving, and he had a 6-foot Arizona cactus in a potted plant. And what happened was it started to sway left and right. My thumb got pricked from the cactus, and I ended up with 6 weeks with a paralyzed hand. And ended up, we had to take a sample of the cactus to the doctor's office, and he sent it out to a lab and found out that the base of the cactus had tarantula eggs, and the venom inside of the eggs and around the eggs went up through the roots of the cactus and in through the veins. So you get pricked by the...
Tarantula venom was coursing through the cactus. Once you pricked yourself on the cactus, that venom was discharged into you.
Yes.
Holy hell.
Oh, my God.
F cactus.
That's the most freak thing I've ever heard. Well, and your hand was paralyzed for 2 months?
Yeah, almost 2 months. Yeah, and I had to go through rehab to get the fingers moving again.
Oh, my God, you poor thing.
And then I found out when birds fly into these kinds of cactus out in Arizona and stuff, that it's not really the pricks that kill the bird, it's the venom inside of the pricks that, you know.
It's always the venom inside the prick.
So these are tarantula cactus that we need to
do these things drive?
Oh, my God. Wow, Dave, I've never heard of that before. That's bizarre. All right, thank you. I appreciate that.
Tarantula cactus.
Man, okay.
That's like flying tigers.
Yeah.
I don't quite buy that story. I've never heard of anything like that before.
I haven't either. That's okay. We'll have to check the validity of
What
that.
happened to him?
What's that?
It wasn't a friend's story, right?
Yeah.
No,
it's his.
I mean, like I believe his story. I've never heard of anything like that before. It just seems too bizarre to be true.
All right, let's go to somebody who's just terrified by spiders. I'm going to go to Andrea, or her ex-husband, and say, Andrea, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up, Andrea?
Well, first of all, I'm really regretting tuning into this show because it's really creeping me out.
Yeah, that's all right.
I would have to rehome the child that ordered the scorpion.
Enough of that nonsense.
I had to calling in because my ex-husband is absolutely terrified of spiders, to the point where I don't even particularly care about spiders. I don't like them, but I had to pretty much get over it and just be able to crush a spider with my bare hand at all times because of his panic.
Right.
And he called me one day from work freaking out because he was just at work wearing a hoodie or whatever that he had there. And he happened to catch movement out of the corner of his eye, and he looked over. There's a hole in his hoodie sleeve, and just very slowly 2 black spiders were crawling out of that hole in his sleeve.
Oh, okay.
They were inside his sleeve with his bare arm, and he didn't know how long there were just spiders in his sweater.
So
I'm never wearing clothes again.
He was just mortally terrified, full-blown arachnophobia.
Full panic attack, freaked out, took off his sweater, screaming. Coworkers know how bad it was. And all these men who are always just terrible to each other, heartless men, just all working together. Everybody stopped to try and take care of him.
Yeah.
And he called me in a panic, begging me to find his Xanax and bring him his Xanax.
Oh.
Wow. So Andrea,
I had to leave and drive to 20 minutes to his job right away and take him Xanax, and he was still shaking and couldn't breathe because just 2 large black spiders crawled out of his sleeve like a horror movie.
So what would happen when an occasional spider would be found, say, in the bathroom or around the house?
Well, he would call me if I wasn't home, be like, how long until you come home? There's a spider in the plant. Can you come get it? Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
We
that's
pulled
Pierre.
into a Walmart one time, and I was driving. Thank God I was driving, because we parked the car, and he just screamed and jumped completely into my lap on the passenger side because a spider propelled down from the ceiling.
Marissa, we made 2 announcements just a moment ago. Our friends at Nifty 50s have returned with the Preston and Steve Gingerbread Blast Milkshake, available starting today through November 23rd, and it comes with a collectible Preston and Steve and Camp Out for Hunger cup.
Love it.
And if you purchase that, portion of the proceeds are going to benefit the Camp Out for Hunger. We'll do some more gift card giveaways a little bit. And then we made an announcement that we're going to have comedy night at Camp Out for Hunger. We had told you that Thursday night, a week from this Thursday, will be food trucks and fireworks. Well, Tuesday night is going to be comedy night, and it will be at the Miller Time Beer Hall, which is inside Stateside Live, and will feature Blake Wexler, Jake Matera, Mary Rudzinski, Pat House, and Ian Fidance as our feature performer.
That's a jam show.
Yeah. And all you have to do is bring a donation. And we would love for you to do that. And obviously, this has more impact this year with the loss of Pierre, a cause that he is, of course, championed throughout the years, and would hope that you would participate in his honor. All the details at WMMR.com/campout.
I'd like to add one more name to the bill, and unfortunately, I don't know the person's name, but Helium does this comedy contest every single summer. Philly's Funniest.
Yeah, both you and I have judged a number of times.
And I judged this past year, and so I'd like to get the winner of that contest to open the entire evening.
Okay.
Hopefully, we can pull that together. And so you're going to be dealing with some, doing like really sharp, short sets, and then the headliner. It's going to be a perfect comedy night.
Yep. So that, and we'll see what else comes up next week, as we are still in the planning stages of Camp Out for Hunger. But in the meantime, my mind wanders all over the place.
Oh, my God.
Sometimes I just don't know.
My
what to
mind
guess.
is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
Oh, God. Sorry, man.
That's okay. You're on your phone. It's all good.
I'm doing something. Sorry.
It's all good.
He was on his phone. The stream of consciousness there.
I know it's
but he was doing
work-related.
stuff for the show.
Yes,
So
I
that's okay.
All right, on Wednesday.
I jumped in there. I
You
explained.
did. Thank you, Mr. Announcer.
Thank you, Mr. Announcer.
On Wednesday, Dictionary.com announced that 6-7 is its word of the year for 2025.
Yes.
So
I mean, it's only been around for a few minutes, but it took off with such a firestorm.
It's so funny because when you brought this up and we were talking about it, we talked about the teachers' rebellion against, and we're actually hearing from teachers like trying to deal with it. And then I've seen it just now. It's like when you see it, you can't unsee it, and now its pervasiveness is unbelievable.
So the definition or the description that Dictionary.com has for this, they describe it as a term of a classic brain rot slang.
Yeah.
That is purposefully nonsensical and all about being in on the absurdity. Put another way, it says 6-7 can be another way of saying so-so, maybe this, maybe that, or even saying, well, nothing at all. So I didn't know it could be used in that sense.
So there's something that's similar to this that's sort of gaining traction, and maybe Marissa is aware of this, but there is an artist who kind of floated out her PR team or social media team that you're in group 7, or you know what I'm talking about, Marissa?
Oh, yeah, I know what this is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like an algorithm hack where somebody posted 7 or 8 videos and to see which one you would see, which one would hit people's algorithms the most. And I guess people started seeing 7 and just jumped in and were like, oh, group 7, I'm group 7. And it kind of took off.
And so it became sort of a thing that you would say, okay, I'm
Group
part
7.
of group 7 now.
Yeah.
And that is a brain rot thing to me.
Yeah. So, in a news release, the director of lexicography for the Dictionary Media Group, Steve Johnson, said that it's one of the first words of the year that works as an interjection.
But it's not
It's not really a word. So they've done this before, where it's that, because I guess it can be hyphenated, but I don't know. So the Dictionary.com announcement came as a surprise to many online who pointed out how confusing it is to declare what is arguably a number or even a meaningless phrase.
Did
as the
6-7
word.
show up to collect the award or no?
As the word of the year. No, I don't think they.
They are actually getting awards?
They had a pre-recorded pre-recorded message that they played at the awards
I'd love to be
ceremony.
there tonight. Both 6 and 7, we both enjoy this so much. But of course, we're in Paris filming a movie.
As for the reasoning behind the decision, Johnson says the term is emblematic of the brain rot culture that has permeated both the internet and the real world. He said, few slang terms have captured the cultural mood of 2025 quite like 6-7. It's part inside joke, part social signal, and part performance as well.
That brain rot thing. So sitting over the weekend and just trying to pull away from everything. And my algorithm was filled, of course, with wonderful Pierre.
Yeah.
And that was great.
Yeah.
But then obviously there are other things, in whether it be TikTok or Instagram, and I'm looking through these things. And man, that rot concept is real. When you're just sitting there, you are 100% unproductive. You are rewiring your mind. It is becoming a narcotic. It's becoming Brave New World. It's becoming exactly. Soma, exactly. And you see it, and then you yank the phone away like, dear God.
Don't you have that realization?
I have that realization.
As you're going from one to another, you're like,
Stop
okay,
it.
You sit there for a minute, and then what especially gets me is like, okay, this is leading me down a certain path. I'm watching this video, and then there's no payoff. I go, well, thank you for that, a-hole.
Yeah.
And then I'll be going through, and I'm like, no, that doesn't look good. No, this one, and then what am I doing?
All right, so for what we do for a living, it's important that you are able to be contacted,
Right.
at any notice. But all right, so, but they don't have, or do they have the capability to send like an automatic return via text message? You can do it in an email form, but it would be so great if I could just put my phone down for a second, and if you needed to text me, at least I can, have an automatic response going back. Hey man, I'm putting my phone away for a little bit. I'll get back to you in an hour.
You could just put it on your do not disturb or
no, but that's not the problem. The problem is if I don't get back to you.
Oh, I see.
Let's say you're contacting me about something important,
right?
And something that needs some sort of immediate response, or you were hoping for an immediate response, and I'm not going to. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I feel bad if I don't.
I need you to see this video of Stephen Hawking on a half pipe.
So, Casey, beneath the... I'm sorry, Marcia, go ahead.
Oh, there is a setting that you can choose, and I think it's like safe driving mode, but you turn it on when you're driving, but you can edit what that response is. Is that what you're going to say, Nick?
Yeah, well, there's
Same
a bunch of different options. So there's the driving one that Marissa's talking about. There's also personal, work, and sleep, and you can amend those, and it can be basically an out-of-office text reply.
I need that. Okay.
So then rig that. Would that work for you?
All right.
Yeah.
I'm mildly confused, which is not out of the ordinary. So why are you bringing this up when I'm talking about scrolling through social media?
Because you're talking about brain rot, and so because my phone is on me all the time,
right?
It's so a little bit of that has to do with me scrolling through Instagram or whatever, but also a lot of that has to do with like, what if somebody needs to contact me?
Wait a second. You're saying because you're forever reaching for your phone because of contacts that you will by extension fall down the rabbit hole of scrolling?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah,
all,
all the time. Like I'll pick it up to say, oh, I got a text message. And before I've even read that text message, I spent 3 minutes scrolling.
Yeah.
Because before I hit the message, I opened up Instagram.
So
and
it's
started
become
looking.
automatic.
Yes.
You get a text and you're 30 wingsuit videos later.
Right, exactly. All right, yeah, well, those might be some options for you to try those settings out, Case. Definitely. But anyhow, 6-7, word of the year, according to dictionary.com.
Rotten hell. The stream of consciousness there.
I know that this is kind of interesting. For some reason, we feel this necessity to keep things that we get for quote-unquote free because we are convinced that they'll be used someday. This means when you're making purchases, stuff that comes along with the things that you're buying. But most of the times, these things just end up sitting around adding to the piles of stuff in our homes.
It's true.
There are 11 free things, according to this article, that people typically get and refuse to throw away because they may be useful in the future. Okay. So I thought these were kind of interesting, and we all go through all of this.
I'm curious, yeah.
All right, so we'll start with, it says twist ties. Some people keep those.
No.
I don't keep those.
I do not. I eat them.
No, but let's say I'm putting something together, right? Most recently, ceiling fan. Something came with a twist tie. I like to put that in my mouth, believe it or not, and that's what I kind of.
I was right.
I chew on it like almost like a toothpick.
While you're doing the job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I throw it away.
Cardboard boxes and bubble wrap. I don't hang on to those unless there's something coming up where I know we're going to need it.
Yeah.
But I don't stash because if you're ordering and you get deliveries all the time, we have tons of boxes.
Do you put the cardboard boxes and bubble wrap in your mouth?
No, I do not. I do not. No, I mean, I recycle those things almost immediately. But, for those people who like to compost, sometimes instead of bubble wrap, they'll do that brown paper.
Yeah.
You can use that for composting. And also, that's not a bad thing to use for kindling if you have a wood fireplace.
I do that.
Yeah.
I save, if there is packaging that can be burned, I will save that for the fire pit.
I do all of it. Plastic. I'll burn
all that
anything.
stuff.
Yeah. Old computers.
Mercury.
Burn batteries.
Yeah, sure,
yeah. Because to me,
hey, why waste?
I mean, it just
come on.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch it burn. Look at that thing melt. That's awesome.
He's out back burning old computers.
It is fun to watch.
It is watch the spark and everything.
Okay. Grocery store plastic bags.
Yeah.
I actually use those.
I burn those.
Don't burn those.
No, those are dog poop bags.
Yes, and you
actually, I get and there are a number of companies that make them, Casey. They're completely biodegradable dog poop and cat litter bags.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're wonderful, and I get them.
Good.
Yeah, and once they'll go back into the earth from where they came.
But I don't need to buy those because I'm getting the plastic ones for free.
Yeah.
You get the plastic ones for free?
Well, I mean, when I do like food shopping and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You don't get you get plastic bags.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. I'm saying, who still has plastic bags? Well,
my Acme does.
Yeah, they're the local. Now in Jersey, there's none.
No, I don't
Not
get them
even
around
paper
here.
bags.
Like Havertown.
Ours are made out of suede.
Yeah, Havertown does not have those. I don't think Media has those. But Broomall doesn't care about the environment.
You know what I finally started? I have my little bag caddy now in the back of the car.
Mm-hmm.
I have a wide selection of bags. I'm very proud of that.
Nice.
So
I'm going to go look at my bags right now.
Also, gift bags and tissue paper.
Tissue paper?
Don't save the tissue paper.
Because it has snot in it.
Not that kind of tissue paper.
I fold it
for gifts.
after every holiday. I keep the gift bags. I actually everything that's on this list so far. I keep.
And the tissue paper?
Yeah.
Even ever it's all crumbled up and stuff?
Yeah,
Really?
because then you can iron it out and you can flatten it out and then
you
use it.
iron out your tissue
I
paper.
don't iron it, but I sit on it and flatten it. And then I use it for the next round of gifts.
All right.
Bubble wrap. You never know when you're going to need it.
My wife unwraps Christmas gifts as if it's the Hurt Locker and she's defusing a bomb. Because she will reuse gift wrap.
I'm with Claire.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how crumpled up tissue paper is, though. I mean, if you're using a gift bag, it doesn't matter if it's wrinkled.
I really, at this point in my life, I do prefer gift bags to gift wrapping because gift wrapping is just such a pain in the ass. I'd rather just stick it in a bag and use some tissue paper.
Rochelle is similar in the unwrapping process, Steve, which is fun to watch. But it was her birthday, recently, and I got her. I did a good job at gift giving this year for once, and and of course I use only the gift bags, because you don't have to wrap anything,
right?
But in some of them I had several different cosmetics. It was either makeup or brushes or all the things that came with. So it was 8 or 9 of them, and Rochelle's pulling them out and she's opening those one at a time, and I'm like, oh,
please.
I'm like, we're going to open every single one of these. I didn't say anything.
Because it's your birthday, it's her day.
She can do whatever she wants to. I was like, oh, okay, so we're gonna go through every one of these.
So I got this cool thing. I'll help you to this. I saw it advertised on TV. It has a tape dispenser and razor in one thing that you actually put the roll of wrapping paper. Cutting the wrapping paper off the roll can be a pain in the ass.
Instagram showed that me. Showed that me?
Showed that me?
Yeah.
Instagram showed that me. Please to give that what showed me that thing. Yeah, Case, I bought 2 of them. Yeah, and they're awesome.
Oh, it showed that you too?
Yeah, it showed that me too.
See that I must.
Yeah.
Show that.
Yes, we will.
Show that.
Give it to a Wookiee.
All right, so now we're going to start getting into the ones that I will find myself saving. So these are things that we hang on to for whatever, and they just end up in big piles. Plastic takeout utensils.
Yes.
Yeah. For no real
In fact,
reason.
we're going to have to do, so once the kitchen is completed, we're coming down to getting everything, thank you, Mr. Contractor, again. But once we get down to that, we've been operating with a lot of plastic knives and forks, just, because we're sans washer machine and stuff like that, dishwasher. But yeah, you hold on to a lot of them. Sometimes, that like you'll order food or takeout and they'll automatically put them in the bag. Like we don't need them. We're good.
Yeah. And that could be some waste that they could avoid. But
yeah,
you will be eviscerated if somebody didn't have those and they got home and they weren't in the bag.
It's true. So there's damn
just in case they didn't have any. But yeah, we end up with a lot of those. In fact, at some point we were overflowing with it, and Rochelle was still saving them. And I'm like, I'm doing us all a favor.
Will you put your plastic forks and plastic spoons in the same silverware
as the real ones?
As the real ones?
No, definitely
See,
not.
we've been doing that. And I'm not a big fan of it.
we have a separate little caddy of sorts that goes in.
Oh, we have a caddy.
We do too.
In our pantry.
Our new kitchen will have that caddy.
Good.
Yeah.
We have a section of the silverware drawer that's the plastic knives and forks and spoons, and also in that area are the chopsticks that we have far too many of. So
from a takeout restaurant,
from sushi restaurant, yeah. And whenever I guess maybe we ordered too much sushi because every time we do, they give us 3 sets of chopsticks and not just 2. And I'm like, well, there's really only 2.
Honest to goodness, though, why do we even why do we use chopsticks?
I feel cultured.
I understand, but
I like using chopsticks.
I do too.
Yeah, I prefer. but forks are easier. You know.
Yeah, I feel like
it's kind of fun.
Somebody needs to let them know.
Zen-like.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Number 6 on this list, and I've never saved one of these in my life. A silica gel packet from packages.
It's ridiculous.
No.
Why?
No.
I don't know.
I use salt.
You throw that away. Number 5 says old chargers.
Well, hang on. Can we go back to the silica thing? Because you can use those to, if you wanted to keep moisture out of things, right?
Honestly, what screams in your house that's too moist when you store it?
I don't know. I'm just kind of, I'm wondering the same thing.
I don't know.
I need me a good collection of silica pack. It's
put it in your bread.
Yeah,
Throw it in there with the bread.
This is nice. This never ages.
Wow. Apparently so for food and spice drawers, for electronics drawers, tools and metal items. I mean, I agree with you guys. I toss it as soon as I get it, but some people put them up on this is actually kind of interesting. Place them on the car's dashboard to help prevent the windshield from fogging up.
Stop it.
Whoa.
This one I don't get. Number 5, it says old chargers. That is not something. This article is about things that you get for free.
Yeah. So
and hang on to.
So
that's not. And God damn it!
Yeah.
I left my freaking charger at the Alloy Hotel from Saturday night. Listen, I was out of it when we got up Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, whatever it was to clean up, and I'm just things aren't cheap anymore.
Which
man.
charger, Preston?
It was for my phone, my iPhone.
Oh, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they're only $1,000.
Yeah. That's what pisses me off about it. And do they keep? Will they hang on to that
They
at the
might.
hotel?
They might. Yeah.
All right, that might be worth it. Maybe
They'll
I'll
sell
call
it
them.
back to you.
Maybe I'll call them after the show and go by and pick that up.
And if they know it's a famous radio broadcaster.
But old chargers, I mean, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't belong in
No,
this
that's
list.
a stupid. They don't include old chargers when you buy. Hey, I threw in an old charger for you.
We used to have, though, a plastic container that eventually the chargers that we forgot what they went to all went there. And I'm like, one day I'm like, fine, like I'm done. These are all antiquated. These things, these ports become antiquated. I had stuff from when the kids were, little and they had a toy that needed some kind of an adapter to charge it and all that stuff. Yes, I burned them all. No, but I finally went through and threw them all away. I mean, this is an absolute waste.
I've shown you. I have it's sort of a black brick, very thin, almost like the size of a phone, and it has every connector currently in use.
Great.
And you can charge everything through that. You get one of those and you're golden.
Yep.
You guys would not believe the number of people who are texting in saying that they keep the silica packets for a variety of reasons. Spice drawers, electronics, paperwork that might get a little bit muggy. More than one woman has texted in. They put it in their cleavage for boob sweat, electronics, toolboxes, garden seeds, guitar cases, one after another after another.
Maybe under the nutsack.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
I'm glad we doubled
But
back
spices?
on that. Yeah.
No.
Steve, my spices are so moist. I don't know what to do.
Preston, what is it with your paprika? It's so moist.
I put silica packs in my
Have you never heard of silica?
in my ammo cans to keep the brass from tarnishing.
Okay.
I keep my seasonings and my ammo on the same drawer.
It's right up there. The cinnamon's up next to the shotgun shell.
Steve, you got any 45 slugs?
Absolutely. It's right next to the pepper.
All right, we're down to number 4 on this list of quote unquote free things that we keep. And I don't keep the prepackaged screws from furniture.
Yep, I do it.
You keep those. So do you have like a drawer where you just like a whole bunch of random ones?
I have this really awesome tool chest that I got when I bought a house. A really great friend of mine gave it to me. Yeah, and I have one of the drawers that I have is just for like loose screws and stuff.
Yeah, and so you throw in that. Yeah, you can find a use for some of that stuff.
What I do is I will hold on if I build something and there is the perfunctory 2 or 3 extra screws that they include. I will hold on for it to a little bit, and then I have a special area, and then I'll throw them away.
But before I do that,
because I don't, you end up saving them, and it ends up in a junk drawer, and it's rattling and rolling around.
Yeah. Before I do that, I have to scan whatever I'm putting together to make sure that there's not a hole that's not. I'm like,
Most
wait
definitely.
a second,
Most definitely.
All right. I hate to keep circling back to this, but Preston, I found one for you. A lot of people that I know use the silica packs to keep next to their marijuana to prevent it from drying out. It keeps it, so it'll keep it from getting mold as well.
Can you use the silica instead of pot? Could you spark up a
Probably.
packet?
I don't think it's going to get you high.
At your own caution, maybe. I don't know, but
I wouldn't do that.
But I don't have a lot of flour. I'm mainly a
But
vapor.
that doesn't make any sense. You're keeping it from drying out, but everybody else is doing it to make sure things that stay dry.
They probably came to that decision when they were really high in the first place.
Yeah.
Let's consider
it's the
that.
opposite of that.
Consider that. All right. Also on this list, number 3 is hotel toiletries.
Oh, wow.
Which are not as prominent anymore. Well, Nick, you of course.
I used
right?
to,
Yes.
but no, you don't get them in hotels anymore.
Yeah, they're
Nick would take
refillable.
the toilet seat.
Well, it was free.
But when I was a kid, I would, oh my God, if there was soap, shampoo, lotion, whatever, I'd take it all.
Here's part of the reason why I started doing it a lot, because I would stay in hotels, but I'd also go camping quite a bit. So you could use these shampoo bottles and the soap little,
Okay.
So when you go camping, because instead of bringing along a big bag of toiletries.
I think most of us are guilty of this one, and I do it as well. And usually what it ends up doing is it's when I run out of soap or shampoo at home, I haven't made it to the supermarket, I'm like, oh, crap. And then I have my drawer, I'm like, at least I got...
emergency.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll throw them in like my shave kit.
There you go.
For traveling. Yeah.
There are certain hotels where you stay in, and they're assuming you're going to take. They're known for their toiletries, and they have them laid out for you to take them. And then there are some that have gotten overly aggressive, and everything, as we've talked about, conditioner and shampoo are in little containers in the shower,
refillable,
so that you can't take them.
Nick, would you ever take the shower cap?
No, I don't need that.
All right.
But there's sometimes a, what's the makeup remover kit? I'll take that.
Okay.
All right, so let me ask you this, Nick. Have you ever taken an empty container and filled it with the shower gel in
By the way,
I'm jerking something.
Have you ever given a hand job?
Here, let me go like this.
Have you ever given a hand job in a hotel room?
You bring an empty container that you can fill with the... Okay.
I'm not taking it to that level.
When you're given a hand job.
But come over to my hotel room next week during camp out.
Yeah.
We'll try that one out.
Do you ever stop shampooing to give some guy a hand job?
I think some of those lotion containers, they don't get enough use.
Do you guys take the TV remotes?
Never. But you know what I don't do anymore? And this has only been on a couple of recent trips, is I don't even bring toothpaste with me anymore because I didn't know that
front desk.
They give it to you at the front desk. And listen, it's only in a tiny little package.
What if it's
but
a crappy type of...
It's usually Colgate. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not going to take that risk, Mom.
Steve, I don't take the TV remote, but from time to time I will take the ironing board.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
What about the pen or the pad of paper?
No, well, maybe a pen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, his hands are full with the ironing board.
Nick's got a pen in his hand.
What? Is that from a hotel?
Springfield Suites by Marriott.
Oh, my God. You know what we really use the pen and pad for, though, is for housekeeping. We'll leave a little tip, and if you write them a little note.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
You count
we'll
that as the
write
tip, the note?
Yes, exactly.
Here's my
Dear,
signature.
I love you. Have a great
short
day.
this week. Please
By the way,
understand.
this is your tip.
I owe you a Lamborghini.
Yeah. All right, so hotel toiletry is number 3. These are things that we keep, that we get, quote unquote, for free. Number 2, and I think this is probably the one that most people have tons of. Well, there's number 1 actually is even more prominent probably, but condiment packets. Mustard, mayonnaise, ketchup, all that
Yeah.
stuff. Chick-fil-A sauce, whatever McDonald's dipping sauces.
I don't even think we actually have a bottle of ketchup in the house. We have ketchup packets.
We used to, and then I put an end to that. It was like it just sat there for years, and we never would actually use that stuff. So I
But
quit.
it gave
I
you
quit
something
doing that.
to throw out when you cleaned out the refrigerator.
Good point.
Yeah.
And then number one on this list are fast food napkins.
Yeah.
I keep some. I will keep them in my glove compartment, but just enough for an emergency. And if I ever take the last one out, I just make a mental note that the next time I go through a drive-through and I've got napkins, I'll just throw them in there.
In my trunk, I have a bag. It has a roll of paper towel. It has, it's things like these kind of things, napkins and stuff like that. So,
I got a really good roadside assistant / first aid kit. So my son, he was stayed at a friend's house over in the city.
Right.
The car battery died, so I had to get a whole bunch of stuff. And inside this roadside thing is a road flare. And I was like, dude, this is not a toy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he was driving that car. That was the car that he was. I was like, this thing does not.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I left it in there. I should have taken it out. He never used it. He never did use it. But I think.
Oh,
it's
meaning that it'll you can't put it out once you light it.
I told him that. I said we
It'll
learned
end up
this the
being a
hard
toy.
way. Yeah.
At one point, I had like 5 emergency kits in the trunk of my car. I'd either been gifted them or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have a full backpack emergency kit that weighs like 60 pounds.
In your car?
I took it out of the car.
Okay,
eventually.
eventually,
I'm
yeah.
like, it's like keeping a dead body in the trunk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did I get this?
The girl that I dated in college, her dad was a police officer, and the kit that they would have, that all of them had in the back of their cars, was insane. It was basically a tackle box. Not basically, it was a tackle box that they put together themselves. I mean, honestly, they could do roadside surgery if they needed.
Did it have an ironing board?
It did not. Damn it. All right, I'm gonna write a note. All right.
Ironing board in emergency kit.
Yeah. We were trapped
in case you need your tissue paper.
We were mountain climbing. We were trapped in an avalanche, but I was able to do ironing. Light ironing.
We've all been to Hershey and stayed at the Hershey Lodge. Some of us stayed at the Hershey Hotel. Do you guys like the soaps and
the chocolate scented shampoo?
I don't care for it.
Not really.
Yeah,
I don't care for the fake chocolate smell.
I'm with you.
It doesn't sound. It doesn't smell exactly like chocolate.
Yeah, somebody texted in and said that they love it, and so they take it every time they go to Hershey. I love it when they give you the Hershey bar when we stay there. But I don't care for their soaps.
I like the Big League Chew condoms.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
I didn't get that.
Do they offer actual protection?
No,
Okay.
but they're very chewy.
Okay. Wow.
And it's like being in the big leagues.
You're in the big leagues now, son.
Hey,
Wow.
can you bum me a condom?
Wow. All right. So anyhow, I just thought this might be kind of interesting for you. I guess. We have to wrap
The
it up.
stream of consciousnessness.
He says I can do a little one.
He can do a little one.
All right, I was not planning, but I will find something that... here we go.
do that.
Daylight savings time has ended.
Did you
over the
feel
weekend.
refreshed with the extra hour? I know I sure as hell did.
In the morning I did. Last night I did not.
I did not because we had a big event Saturday night.
Yes.
For the Mother's Wish Gala. And after the event, we had to break down everything. And it ended up being a really, really late night. And then the next morning, we had to get up and pack everything up and take because we stayed overnight. And that's why I wasn't at Rittenhouse Square for the event. So I did not feel any scintilla of extra hourness, which is whatever. But I felt better this morning getting up.
So you felt better.
A little bit.
I'll tell you this, because as we're in preparation for the camp out, the last thing you want to do is go in, run down.
Right.
Obviously, all of this that has been happening has been, tearing us down.
Yeah.
So I tried to take time over the weekend to get, you can hear I have a little bit of something. I'm fine. I feel great. I just have a little bit of something nasally. But, Saturday night, Preston, into Sunday morning, I got a good sleep.
Good.
And I did notice that. For some reason, I'm like, oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
You just feel good knowing. It's like, I'm going to sleep.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I felt great waking up yesterday. I felt great most of the day. After the gathering at Rittenhouse Square, I grabbed a late lunch. And coming out of that lunch, I was like, I'm ready for bed, man. And that
Listen.
was,
by 5 o'clock, 5:30 last night, felt like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
You know, I look around, I'm like, whoa.
You get that. You get that mid-afternoon. So I'm looking outside, and we are creatures of our environment and of the light of the day. And I'm looking, and I'm thinking, wow, it must be like 3 o'clock, and it was like 1 o'clock, 1:30.
Yeah. So research has linked time changes with increased risk for heart attacks and strokes. While most of that is related to turning clocks forward in the spring, a study from Denmark finds changing back to standard time in the fall is associated with an increase in depressive episodes. Another recent study shows that poor sleep caused by the time change can make existing issues like anxiety, depression, and seasonal affective disorder even worse. So the thing is, good, restful, regular sleep is essential for our health. Our bodies do best if our schedule is consistent, according to Dr. Lois Cron of the Mayo Clinic, sleep medicine expert, a sleep medicine expert. When daylight savings time ends, it can take from a day to up to a week for some people to adjust. Until then, they may feel a little bit out of it. But here are some tips for you on how to get past this.
Would they be irregular sleep and fear of serial killers?
I don't even need to read this.
There we go.
No.
Wow.
No. So it says stick to your daily schedule. Follow your usual schedule, and it will help you adapt faster.
I think both you and I on the show right here in this room. I think I'm very fastidious when it comes to personal schedule. Are you the same? You are.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Get out and touch some grass. It says getting outside, soaking up some sunlight, or even just sitting by a window to catch some rays will help reset the body's internal clock.
It's wonderful.
Yep.
I mean, I've made no secret of I can't stand the time switch. I think that maybe at some point in my lifetime it'll go away, and I look forward to that day. But and there are some messed up time zones in this country. Like Arizona's one. There's a section of Indiana that's really weird. But I didn't know until recently that Australia has the most messed up time zones. Part of Australia literally goes on a 15-minute change. Part of Australia goes on a half-hour change, and then other sections of the country are 6 p.m. Are hour-long changes. It's really weird. If you ever get a chance to dive on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, it's bizarre. And Steve, I know you talk about all the different ways that Australia can kill you.
Yeah.
It also has messed up time zones.
I don't know how you can conduct business with that big of a difference.
Preston, there is during the work week from 2 to 4, Sydney becomes Belgium.
My God.
That's
and
really
I
had
weird.
no idea.
I don't even know why that's even a thing.
This is really odd. We're looking at a map of Australia.
Yeah.
It's really odd.
You know that time or that saying it's it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's
Next door.
Well, it's 3:15, and you're like, no, it's not. It might be 5:15 somewhere.
But it's 3:15 somewhere.
In the section of this map that we're looking at in the studio, there's a section where it says 6 p.m. on the western coast of Australia that literally goes by 15-minute segments. It's in the bottom, the southern part of the country. Yeah, none of it makes any sense. It's so bizarre.
All right, well, here's a couple other things you can do to get past the change in time. It says to avoid taking naps. We said we know it's tempting, but a midday snooze can keep you from getting to bed early enough at bedtime. So maybe in the time being, until you adjust, avoid a nap. And then it says use good sleep techniques. The Sleep Foundation recommends keeping a steady sleep schedule, having a regular bedtime routine, avoiding caffeine in the afternoon and evenings, not doom scrolling, and using a sleep mask or earplugs can help.
I do. Mine is Michael Jackson.
It's them. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
If you're so tired.
My sleep is solid when I do go to sleep.
Yeah.
Obviously I sleep in a more I sleep for just a couple hours, but I do feel rested when I wake up.
Mine's getting worse. I need to consult a sleep expert.
Is it the apnea?
It's the apnea. Yeah, for sure. I've been waking up a lot more and more. I've learned to train myself to sleep on my side to avoid it. But lately, I've been waking up on my back a lot more, and that means that I'm being woken up with like that, and it sucks, man.
I woke up at midnight last night and then couldn't fall back asleep. I literally got up and wrote news and sports at about 2:30 this morning because I just couldn't sleep at all. And I don't know if it had anything to do with what was happening yesterday. Saturday night, I slept great in the Sunday morning, but yesterday it was really messed up.
Yeah. All right. So anyhow, you may notice some differences, but these are some suggestions. Stick to your schedule. Get outside.
Smoke grass.
Smoke grass. Exercise.
Don't touch grass.
Avoid taking naps and use some good sleep techniques if you can. So thought I would pass that along to you. All right, we got a
stream of consciousnessness.
All right, we're done streaming. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we are going to have a guest who is joining us to talk about a documentary film that he has directed about Pele Limber.
Yes.
Very interesting, and it's called The Swede of Philadelphia, so we will have him in our studio when we return. There's a screening coming up with a Q&A that we'll tell you about as well. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
It's got to be debilitating because you're going to encounter a spider.
Yes.
You know, just by living.
Yep. Wow.
No, it is debilitating. He's had to lock up his truck and jump out of his truck in the middle of the street because there was a spider in his truck and he was by himself and it was coming towards him.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That's hilarious. All right, thank you, Andrea.
That's too much.
Appreciate it.
So
That's
apparently-
legit fear, man.
Yeah, there's a Twitter account called Recluse or Not, and people can send pictures to help identify whether or not the spider they're taking a picture of is
Instantaneously,
is
they'll
a
get back to you because sometimes you need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so here's a follow-up on the tarantula cactus thing. Connor found this posting. It said the tarantula might lay eggs on the cactus, but not in it. Even if the spider would happen to crawl in a cactus and lay eggs, the plant wouldn't explode when they hatched. They do not nest in plants. Tarantulas normally live in burrows in the ground, and they hatch their eggs there. So this is, I guess, maybe an urban legend that a cactus can explode.
I don't
with
think I was ready to. Yeah.
tarantula babies.
Shower you in tarantula babies.
I mean, tarantulas aren't that venomous either, right? So it would be so diluted by the time that it got to the spine. I mean, that was an interesting story. There's something about it that didn't quite add up.
I don't know. I'm staying away from those tarantula cactuses.
Somebody said tarantula babies in cacti story is false, according to Snopes. So, all right. Well, anyhow, it sounded pretty interesting. We do need to take a break. I thank you for that. And watch out for the new Joro spider, fresh from Asia, taking over the southeastern United States, which means it'll head up to the south or northeastern states.
They're planning on it, yeah.
We'll see. All right. Well, listen, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back in a second. Ray is going to be performing at Punchline on Wednesday night, and we're going to talk to him when we return. Make sure you stay with us. Very much, Kathy. Coming up on the program a little bit later on this morning, we're going to have actress Ali Sheedy joining us to talk about Single Drunk Female. We'll do that in the 9 o'clock hour. Always wanted to talk to Ali Sheedy.
Yeah. I mean, look at her run of movies at a certain point in her career, starting back with War Games and going all through, all the
Breakfast
John Hughes
Club
stuff, St. Elmo's Fire. I mean, come on.
So we'll talk to her, and we also have some Impact wrestlers that are coming in this morning. That'll be in the 8 o'clock hour because it's a big event in South Philly. It's South Philly Showdown, the 18th and 19th. So we'll get to all that in a little bit. I got an email from somebody yesterday, and I was like, oh, this would be great to talk about. And then I realized after looking a little bit further into this link that it's not exactly what I thought it was. Okay, so it's a teacher slang word. So people who work in the teaching industry, it says 30 words for educators only. And I thought that this was legitimate slang that was used, but upon further reading, it's actually things that should be used in slang or should be slang terms.
Its very existence might cause that to happen.
Maybe.
Because, we were kind of talking about this, and I think a lot of occupations have code speak for when they are in general public situations.
Yes.
So you may not know what you're hearing. It seems rather benign, but they're actually communicating in a way you don't understand. I think that's a standard. So provide a good list for teachers. I'm sure they might use it.
Yeah, so work terms are definitely, it's another language. Like if you went into somewhere that is not your field and you're sitting, you could be lost in conversation. You don't know what the hell they're talking about. I mean, we use our own terms here for, certain things like, commercials are called spots.
Yeah.
And there's the faders. We call those pots sometimes.
Or a puker.
A puker,
Right.
which is somebody who talks like this on the radio. That's a puker.
You can imagine what a prize pig is.
Yep, somebody who's constantly winning everything all the time.
Right.
Those are prize pigs. It has been, we didn't make that up. That's
No,
what it's been
forever.
for a long time in the industry.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of terms that are used. And feel free to share yours, those we may not be familiar with from whatever industry you work in. So here's a couple of examples. And at first I was like, okay, I didn't know they use these words. But apparently these are ones that they would hope they would use. So Crayola is a term. The definition is it's a riff on cray-cray. Crazy off the walls.
Okay.
So using a sentence was, my class was Crayola today. I almost lost my shiitake mushrooms.
Okay.
I like that.
So here's another one, which is, I like this one too. Shebay, which is is an acronym where you take the initials and
Yes.
okay, so should have been an email. SHBAE.
Okay.
That staff meeting was totally shabay this afternoon. I like that.
I think there's a big application for that. We've used variations on that already.
Yeah.
When you're talking, that's, again, I love code speak because a lot of times you don't want to, hurt someone's feelings but you need to communicate and get the message across.
So you have a shabay and probably a chubay. So it should have and could have.
Right. Could have been an email. Yeah, Chabay. All right, how about this one? A chopper, which equals helicopter, meaning helicopter parents. Yes.
right.
So using it in a sentence, Josh's parents are total choppers, and it all makes so much sense now. And helicopter parents is that's a slang term.
Yes,
as well,
absolutely.
so
Constantly hovering.
all right, so for teachers, here's another potential slang term: gray. Definition is spending all night or all weekend grading papers. My weekend was totally gray.
There's a big nod to Snoop Dogg with this.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Another slang term might be IBH, inappropriate but hilarious. One of my students said something so IBH today, I couldn't stop myself from laughing out loud in class. As a teacher, that's got to be tough, man. When a kid says something that's technically not supposed to be, is off board, and you find it hilarious.
I used to get that all the time. I would be the deliverer of stuff that would fall into that realm, and if you could get the teacher to laugh, it was always a good sign.
I didn't know what the word douche was when I was in school.
Right.
But I was using it like because I had heard it before.
Right.
And so I didn't get in trouble for it, but the teacher was like, dude. And I was like, what? I'm like, I didn't know what I was saying, but it was almost like Batman. Bam, pow. I was going like douche, and I had no clue.
Douche. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
That's like a punch sound.
It actually is.
Douche.
Yeah, that would work. I would believe you if you told me you had no idea.
But I was purposely saying the word douche. I wasn't making a
menstrual
sound.
Menstrual cup.
Pad.
Yeah, condom.
Kotex. Diaphragm.
Oh my God! Here's some text coming in. Somebody this says someone who is always in the ER is known as a frequent flyer.
A frequent flyer.
That's funny.
I'd heard the term Gomer back in the day, which was short for "get out of my ER." Gomer. There's a
Interesting.
Gomer out there.
Or it could literally be Jim Neighbors.
Nick, there was one on here, and I can't say. Scroll down a little bit. Yeah. So a carpenter or framer. All right, I can't say the word, but you can.
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah, a see you next Tuesday hair is 1/32 of an inch.
If you're a carpenter,
I love that.
You know
It's
that.
just it's
so
an
a C hair is 1/32 of an inch.
It's an actual measurement.
Wow.
I love that.
What's a D hair then?
What's the other one you were gonna highlight, Nick? HVAC.
Yeah.
All right, rotten cotton means insulation.
Yeah.
Okay, I can
like
see that. A pookie is a duct sealant, and that's from Tom from Sheridan P&H.
I like
so
that.
HVAC. Those are some of the terms that they use. Okay, like I say, I like the sea hair thing.
Well, you know where you find a lot of these too? You'll find them in restaurants, Preston. Or people who are working the counter at restaurants, they'll build up a second language so they can assess pain-in-the-ass customers in front of them.
Here's one for you, Steve. Campers. This is exactly from a restaurant thing. Campers are people who will not leave the restaurant. They take up the table for hours and hours.
So on this issue, I say go in, do your talking, do your whole thing, do your socializing. But when the meal is done and you're surrounded by the refuse of your meal, I want to leave. I don't want to sit there for another hour and a half.
I know.
Am I a lunatic?
No,
for that?
you're not. But also, what people also need to understand is, a lot of people are not aware of their surroundings. If you're at a restaurant and you notice that there's a wait, for people to get in and sit down, and then you finish your meal and then you just hang out. And
you don't have to be slamming everything. Finish it.
No, we're not trying. I'm not trying to rush you or anything like that. But if you know that there's a half hour, hour, this happens down the shore all the time, right?
So a lot of campers, as they would say.
Yeah, but also they don't accept reservations at a lot of places down the shore.
Right.
And so there's a lot of waiting. A
Yeah.
lot of waiting. So, for me personally, I'm like, okay, let's get out of here. We can go sit on the front porch somewhere.
Right.
All right, here's some other ones coming in. So somebody who's, I guess, works in a liquor store says people who go into the liquor store right when they open are called the Breakfast Club.
That's great.
You know what? What's another one? One of our favorite phrases forever has been an occupational phrase: the lot lizard.
Yep. I got a couple of texts about the lot lizard.
Yeah.
Somebody said in the auto industry, a BFH is short for Big F and Hammer. This is police officer says, okay, a badge bunny.
Oh, yeah.
Sleeps with officers?
Yeah, there's women, I'm sure men too, that dig a uniform, right?
Oh, yeah.
But a badge bunny, I haven't heard that one before.
Women who are turned on by police uniforms. Yeah.
Yep.
I might have been a badge bunny in my day.
Oh, yeah?
Really now?
Oh, yeah, you've admitted that. You like that.
Yeah.
All right, let me go to some calls. 215-263-WMMR. If you want to call in with your work speak, something we may not know. I'm going to go to Will. Hang on, I'll come back to that next.
Okay.
Hi, Will. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning. You guys rock.
Thanks, bud. What's up, my man?
So I wanted to talk about the IBH teacher thing because I'm a music teacher in Montgomery County, and so a couple years ago I had a student. I teach orchestra, and you would never think this from orchestra kids, but it happened. A couple years ago, student came in, sat down, and he says, "I have a question. What do you think the worst note on the violin is? Which is the one that is the worst note?" And I said, without hesitation, it's the high F on the E string. I said, because when it's out of tune, it's horrible. It makes me cringe and all that. And without hesitation, and he actually dropped the F-bomb, he goes, "So would you say it's F'd up?" And the class starts laughing, and all I could do was turn around because I started laughing.
Oh, no.
Okay. And I looked at the kid, and I said, "I'm supposed to be angry with you for dropping." I said, "But that's pretty. That's pretty funny."
That's IBH.
And cool. I mean, good for you for just kind of letting it slide. It was. I mean, it was like it wasn't kindergarten. They were.
Yep.
I just pulled the old major league. Great catch. Don't ever let that happen again.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, thanks,
But you
Will.
do it again, you're suspended.
Appreciate it, man. All right, so Nick has this one, and these are guys working on a construction site, and they call out, and I've mentioned something like this before. They'll yell out, "Caulk gun," when a sexy woman walks by.
Oh, okay.
So that's just a phrase. That's just
Code.
a code.
Yeah.
So my uncle was a chef, and it was like table 23.
Okay.
Was the code when a hot girl would come in.
Here's
Table
a-
23, because they didn't have a table 23.
Oh,
So
okay.
they would
Table
call that out,
23.
and they would say that. And,
So if you're-
and they would look out into the restaurant.
This is another one along those lines. This is for restaurant industry.
Soup table 4, which means hot chick table 4.
Soup
Okay.
table. So you do these
Soup
things.
table.
This has replaced, of course, the much and rightfully maligned wolf whistle.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's not for them to know. The wolf whistle
Right.
would be whistling at
Right,
the
exactly.
person and get a reaction. This is just amongst the workers
Just-
there,
yeah.
just to take
A
note.
discreet assessment.
Of
So
something that's going
what is the what was your
like table 23.
table 23?
There was whatever table didn't exist. It was
Right.
like one number above the actual amount of tables
Gotcha.
they had there. And that would cause the cooking staff to all look up and see an attractive woman walking in. All right, let me go to Dan. Hey, Dan, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Good, buddy. What's up, man?
Hey, so I worked on golf courses my whole life, and used to be a summertime disease called brown patch that would really destroy the grass. So
Okay.
we would have whenever there was a hot girl playing, we'd name it Pink Patch. So we'd all have radios. We say Pink Patch.
Pink Patch.
On number 2 fairway. You might want to go check it out. So.
Wow.
All right.
Well,
there you
look, this seems to be a common topic here.
Having a code.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pink patch.
All right, thanks. And I wonder if ladies have that. A documentarian who is joining us here in the studio, and his most recent project focuses on a notorious story here in Philadelphia about a fantastic hockey player. It's called the Swede of Philadelphia, and it's all about Pele Lindbergh. There will be a sneak preview screening coming up on the 5th and 6th at the Oaks Center Cinema. And there will be, like I said, a Q&A along with this. And you can get tickets at oakscenter.net. To go to the event, and then we'll tell you where else it's opening up. But we would like to welcome Charlie Minn to our studio this morning. Charlie, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here.
Absolutely. So, Paley Lindbergh and the story behind that predates my time here in Philadelphia. I've been here for 30 years, but like immediately, and I was a Flyers fan before I even moved to the area, I had heard the stories about Paley Lindbergh and obviously his untimely death and, all the things that came along with that. But I've never really, that's all that I've ever really heard.
Right.
And so that's why I'm really curious about your documentary. First of all, why did you choose him as the subject?
I saw Paley Lindbergh play live in the 1983 All-Star Game on Long Island. Unfortunately, that night, Wayne Gretzky lit him up for 4 goals in one period.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of taken aback by Pelly's style. He was very flashy, very acrobatic. I don't think he would play in the NHL today because he's not 6'2" or taller.
Smaller, right?
Yeah, all NHL goalies today are just a lot bigger, bulky equipment. They just take up the net. They butterfly, which is a style. Pelly was more of a stand-up, the kick save and the beauty, the flashy glove save. You don't see that in hockey today. I'm not a big fan of the game today. It's too soft. Back then in the 80s, that was my era. That was real hockey with Rick Tocchet and Cam Neely and Al Secord, Ben Wilson. I mean, that's hockey. I don't know what you call today's hockey. I really don't. Preston.
There's some passionate people who align with that. I still love it. Just a quick observation here, and obviously we know that how Pele died, and we'll get into that. But you mentioned Rick Tocchet. Tocchet was originally supposed to be in the vehicle the night that the crash occurred. Correct?
Yeah, I asked him point blank, did you almost get into the Porsche?
Yeah.
And he said no. Murray Craven and I lived maybe a block from the Coliseum, which was their practice facility in Voorhees. So they just walked home.
All right.
Yeah.
And so, that another... the tendrils go on and we'll explain, all the stuff that happened around that as well. But Nick, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I've been a lifelong Flyers fan, and my dad had season tickets growing up, and so we went. I saw Pelly play when I was a kid, and it was really he was revolutionary. Like, it was really exciting to have a goalie who many people consider to be the heir apparent to Bernie Perron in this town. And in 1985, the Flyers were an upstart team. They get to the Stanley Cup Finals against the Oilers and losing 5 games. And I remember coming out, I'm 10 at that time, right? But I remember coming out of that series thinking, we're going in the right direction. This is a team that, can contend, get back to the finals year after year. And then what happened in November of that year was just so unbelievably tragic and sad that it just rippled all around the city for a long, long time. It's interesting to me, these markers in your life, and Pelly's death was a marker in my life, and I don't, what compelled you to tell this story?
Well, like I said, I saw Pelly play, and documentarians are supposed to inform, educate, and raise awareness. And I think most fans, even diehard Flyer fans, only know that Pelly drank, drove, sped, and crashed. But that's it.
Right.
This is a deep dive, in-depth, comprehensive, you name it. I asked every question under the sun. The Flyers even wanted me to take out a couple of questions in the movie. They deemed it as being too controversial. So, that's my style. I can't live any other way. I have to live with brutal honesty and transparency. And for Pelly's family, who have every right to know what happened that morning. Pelly got screwed that morning.
Yeah.
I'll get right to the point. He was overserved, whether by a bartender, whether by a teammate that brought too many rounds for him. With that said, I want to be clear here. I'm not exonerating Pelly 100%. He was a grown man. He was 26 years old. It was his decision to drink, his decision to drive, and unfortunately, he loved going fast. That was one of his big things.
So, the Porsche.
Yeah. So I just thought it was a very interesting story to delve into. 40-year anniversary is this month. His idol and goalie coach is Bernie Perron.
Which is the fact that Bernie just passed. In fact, he was his idol, correct?
Correct. Pelly dreamed of being a Flyer. He wrote to the Flyers when he was a kid in Sweden because he wanted to play for the Flyers because of Bernie. He was basically Bernie Part 2. And this is the ultimate what if in hockey, in the NHL, I would say. If Pelly had survived that crash and kept playing, would he have become another Bernie Perron? Could he have won a Stanley Cup or two? Because this city is starving. There's no better hockey fans than the Flyer fans. This film is for Flyer fans. They've tolerated this for 50 years with no Stanley Cup. My heart bleeds for those Flyer fans who deserve better, quite frankly.
Let me ask you: do you think because of the aspect of him, as you said, he was an adult, but he was driving drunk, and it resulted in this? There were two other people in the vehicle as well, and you talked to at least one of them, I believe. Both of them to get their take on this. They miraculously survived. They hit a wall. It was where was it? It was in Somerdale, New Jersey.
Correct.
Okay, so do you think because of the alcohol component, it has cast a shadow over this that people are less likely to review this or talk about this, or what do you think that the ramifications of that aspect of it have had on the history of this?
There's no doubt because of the alcohol involvement.
Yeah,
that's why they have not retired Pelly's number.
Right,
and that's why the Flyers are not supporting me on this project.
Right,
because of the alcohol involvement. They just basically said you can make the project. Good luck.
Right.
So I'm on my own.
Right.
And that's okay. I mean, I'm a blue-collar guy.
Right.
And if anything, I'm even more motivated now to get Pelly's story out there because the Flyer fans deserve the truth.
Right.
And you were a hockey player as well, correct?
I played a little bit on the Boston University B team. Hockey's my love. It's absolutely saved my life. I'm a tortured crime filmmaker. True crime is my genre.
Yeah.
And if it's not for hockey, Preston, honestly, I'd be in really bad shape. Hockey is like my therapy.
Okay.
I need it.
And so, go ahead, Preston.
There were, I'm curious, in the course of making this, what were some surprising things you found out about Pelly's story along the way? And I mean, the ones that you can share here. I'm sure you want people to see it all play out in the film, but
if Pelly had been wearing a seatbelt, and I investigated this deeply, we got the first responders in the film. They thought that Pelly would have lived had he been wearing a seatbelt.
So he wasn't wearing a seatbelt?
No,
at
neither
all.
was Ed Parvin Jr., who suffered head injuries, brain injuries, and he was in a coma for 10 days.
Wow.
And Kathy McNeil, who I'm actually flying in tomorrow, she'll be here early. Kathy McNeil somehow survived that, and she was sitting in the middle in the console, and there's no seatbelt there.
Right. Yeah, she was just sitting in the middle.
In the middle.
Oh, my gosh.
It's a miracle, Preston, that 2 out of the 3 survived that. When you look at the car, it is mangled.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable anyone survived that.
Doing 80 some odd miles an hour?
80 miles an hour on Somerdale Road in a 35 mile an hour zone. Head on, crashed his Porsche right into the corner of the steps.
Jeez.
And we went right to the scene. When I tell you this is a deep dive, Preston, I am not joking. Flyer fans deserve the truth. They deserve. Pelly's family deserves the truth. They need to know what happened that morning, not just that he sped and crashed and that was it.
So you talk to a gentleman, Bob Froese?
Bobby was great. I flew to Buffalo to get him. Bob became a pastor,
right,
Steve, because of this.
A goalie who was, and they were. Explain the story because he had what you would describe as profound survivor's guilt. Correct?
Yes, because when they first told him about it, his first thought was, "Oh, now it's my net."
Yeah, now I get to play.
Yeah, now I get to play.
Not realizing how significant the injury was.
And then he told me it really hit him during the next Flyers practice. He would look at the other end of the rink, and there was no Pelly Lindbergh.
Yeah,
it wasn't him; it was another goalie, and that's when he said it really hit him. And he lived with that guilt forever. When I interviewed him, he was very emotional.
Do you think that's what led to him becoming a pastor?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, you could feel the conviction in his voice. He's a good man.
Yeah.
And
Nick, you were saying that you remember all this clearly. What like in the aftermath since you were here? What do you remember?
One of the things that I remember is I remember it as a sports fan, right? Which is, I think about it now as a 50-year-old, and I think about it more as like in human terms, that we lost just a person, right? But at the time, I thought, hey, we lost our chance to win the Stanley Cup. We lost this great goalie who's going to lead us back to the promised land. And I'm a little ashamed of that thought because in November, I was like, man, we were going to get back to the finals. Man, we had a chance to win the Stanley Cup because of what Pelly could bring, to the ice. And now you look back on it all these years later and you think, well, it was just a kid. It was a kid driving a car too fast, and he made mistakes, and per your contentions, he was overserved. But I also just remember this collective feeling in the city of loss, and quite frankly, we're going through that right now. I mean, over the last few days, we've experienced it here at the radio station, and it was just a palpable sadness in and around Philadelphia when Pelly died.
Absolutely. Saddest day in Flyers history.
Yeah.
Pelly had just led the Flyers to the 1985 finals, won the Vezina Trophy. This was the youngest team in the NHL. It was Mike Keenan's kids.
Yeah.
And there was a love affair between the fan base and the Flyers at the most incredible arena ever, the Spectrum.
What other players did you talk to from that era?
Oh, gosh, you name it. Obviously, Bob Froese, we talked about that. Ricky Tocchet, Murray Craven, who was the only Flyer to go to the crash site that morning. Wow. And the police had to detain him almost because he was freaking out. He was only 21 years old at the time. He's like, what happened? What happened? Mark Howes in the film, Brian Propp, Bernie Perrant. I probably got his last interview on record.
Wow.
There are Hall of Famers in this film. Bobby Taylor, who called Flyer games with Gene Hart on Prism.
Chief,
exactly.
Yes.
He was a goalie. He was Bernie's backup.
Yeah.
And he won 2 cups in the mid-'70s. So if you're a Flyer fan, this is your movie.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
Charlie, did and this is a weird question to ask, because you're a documentarian and you're there to tell the story. But does this and like I said, having not grown up here with his all the story of his life, I mean, is there a sense of clearing his name to some extent that comes from this, or
is it clearable?
Yeah,
in that aspect.
Gosh, it's a great question. It's a loaded question. I guess it all comes down to the beholders who you ask.
Okay.
I think they should retire his number because even 40 years later, there's Facebook pages that memorialize him. They want his number retired next to Bernie Perrant, and that was Bernie's last wish.
To get that?
Yes.
No kidding.
Yeah, and on January 31st, 2026, the Flyers are home. They happen to be home. That's when you can retire the 1 for January, which is Bernie's number, 31 for Pelly, and 26. That's how well Pelly Lindbergh was. You can't make this up. That's the day to do it.
So here's the deal, and you certainly understand there's aspects of this that are understandable at every angle you look at it. You understand the Flyers and their commitment to messaging and so on and so forth, and you also understand though that again, you talk about the indiscretion of youth. This was when you get out on the road and you're drunk, there are ramifications, and that could result as it did, and sadly, in his own death. And you make those things. I mean, those decisions. It's you separate the accomplishment. You separate one incident. We all make bad decisions in life at some point. So, do you hold hostage this? And I think, as you would say, one of the great sports stories never told. Do you hold that hostage forever? In other words, without acknowledging the accomplishment. So obviously we know where you stand.
Right.
What has been the reaction in general as you bring this message around?
People cannot wait to see the story.
Yeah.
I mean, Pelly was not an avid drinker. I want to make that clear here because that's why I think he was overserved.
Right.
In Sweden, they have the toughest drunk driving laws.
Right.
And Pelly knew that, so he came from that culture. But what happened that morning, again, like I said, he got screwed.
Yeah.
Not intentionally, I don't think. Either a bartender or a teammate. And again, it was Pelly's decision at the end to get behind the wheel of a car. Can you be drunk and not know it?
Yeah.
I mean, I try to pose all these different questions in the documentary, and I'm satisfied with how it came out due to all the work that was put into it.
Charlie, you'd said that true crime is kind of your niche when it comes to directing. You've obviously taken a detour to tell this story. Are there other hockey stories, since you're very passionate, that you want to tell via documentary after this one down the road?
There's so many. Joe Murphy, overall #1 pick. No one knows where he is. The last I heard, he was homeless walking around Ontario somewhere.
Jeez.
Tommy Barrasso, 1983. He was a goalie. He won a couple of cups with the Penguins. In '83, he came out of Acton-Boxborough High School in Massachusetts as an 18-year-old. He went right to the Buffalo Sabres, and he won the Calder and the Vezina Trophy in the same year as a 19-year-old. Wow. He went from high school shots to the National Hockey League shots, and he won the Vezina and the Calder. And I tell you, Preston, when I tell you it's the most amazing feat in hockey history, people don't believe me when I say that. He skipped over major junior hockey shots, college hockey shots, minor league hockey shots, high school shots to facing Wayne Gretzky and company, okay? And he wins the Calder and the Vezina. His story should be told.
I don't know that story.
Tom Barrasso, incredible career as a kid.
Yeah, he had an unfortunate nickname here in Philadelphia. Tom Barrasso. People who didn't like the Penguins in Philadelphia didn't give him the nicest name in the world.
And quite frankly, Bernie Perrant should have been a documentary.
I'm sure, yeah.
He should have been a documentary.
I want to just ask you about in general, because I think about I love the sport. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge Flyers fan, and I think about kids that are entering the league at 17, 18, 19 years old, and they may be great hockey players, but they're probably not fully developed as young men yet, right? So they have to learn on the fly. They're often thrust in with a lot of money, a lot of fame, especially local fame. Here in Philadelphia, our athletes are our celebrities, right? What do you think about that aspect? Because Pelly was young when this happened to him.
And back then, of course, the contracts were not as high as they are now.
Yeah. Right.
But not too many people know this, but Pelly Lindbergh was about to sign one of the largest contracts in NHL history the week after he died. Bob Froese was traded to L.A. for Jay Wells, and the NHL rescinded the trade because of the circumstances. A lot of people don't know that. That's how much the Flyers were invested into Pelly, because, again, Pelly had just won the Vezina. He finished third in the Hart Trophy voting that year, too. Gretzky won it. Another former Flyer finished second, Dale Hawerchuk, the late Dale Hawerchuk, who died of cancer. Pelly was third. He was on top of the world. His whole life was ahead of him. He was about to get married. His hockey career was ahead of him. Philadelphia absolutely loved this kid. They loved him because they looked at him as Bernie Part 2, and he had the same personality as Bernie. Gregarious, outgoing, vivacious, exciting, approachable. Pelly would literally have the team bus waiting for an hour so he could just sign an extra 50 autographs. That was Pelly Lindbergh. It was a love affair between Pelly and Philadelphia and Pelly and Bernie. They were like father and son.
So what was it when it actually, not being from the area, but being familiar, Bernie himself, how long did it take for him to deal with this? How I have to assume, obviously, it profoundly hit him. What was he like when this went down? And how long did it take before he was able to get past
He
it?
was crushed.
Yeah.
Absolutely devastated. And when I interviewed him 40 years later, he was still very emotional. You could tell in his voice and the look in his eye. And let me just say that Bernie Perron, as an objective outsider, one of the nicest human beings I ever met.
Yeah.
I mean, he's all about love. And when I asked Bernie Perron, describe Pelly Lindbergh in one word, right away the first word out of his mouth was love.
Yeah.
I mean, Bernie Perron and Pelly Lindbergh used to tell each other, I love you.
Yeah.
And and there's no shame in that between guys to say that.
Yes.
As friends, as father and son type of relationship.
And it was a paternal relationship, you say? Yeah.
Pelly called Bernie my second dad.
Oh, man.
Wow.
And they died 40 years apart.
Wow.
So there's a lot of parallels between the two.
Right. The movie's officially opening on Friday, but there's two screenings ahead of time. You're going to be doing a Q&A both?
Yeah,
Charlie,
Q&A
both
on
nights?
Wednesday. We actually don't have anything for Thursday, but we may just add it now because you said it.
It says 5th and 6th on here, so
okay,
that must be a
we may have
typo.
to add one on Thursday because tickets are selling pretty well, and everyone can get the info on the website, swedeofphiladelphia.com.
By the way, the Oaks Cinema, it is.
Yeah, you like that theater.
It is a jewel. I didn't. And Preston reminded me it had been a Regal. It's a multiplex.
Yeah.
But the crew over there, and I forget the gentleman's name. He's wonderful. Who's the owner of the theater?
Matt?
Yes. Terrific guy.
Yes.
And their commitment to independent films and films of all, they were showing the original John Carpenter's Halloween when I was there.
What a soundtrack
in a theater. Yeah.
Right?
So and to give filmmakers like yourself the chance to run a film.
Sorry, guys.
No problem.
Sorry.
And to do a Q&A as well. That's why Kevin Smith is such a fan of that theater.
He gives filmmakers hope, and I think that's one thing all human beings look for is hope.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So locally, Friday, you'll be able to see it at the Oak Center, but also AMC Fashion District, the AMC Cherry Hill, AMC Voorhees, and AMC Neshaminy will all be showing the Swede of Philadelphia.
The Fashion District actually will be the following week. They're changing things on me on the fly.
All right.
But again, all the information, we're updating it right to the minute is swedeofphiladelphia.com.
Okay. And your documentary about Kensington is on Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon
That's where I
Prime.
saw it,
That was life-threatening to get right to the place. But my crew and I spent 4 nights around the clock on Kensington Avenue.
It's a brutal documentary. It's super well done, though.
Oh, you saw it?
I did, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Eye-opening, yeah.
People, I don't know if even people in Philadelphia realize what's going on.
Yeah.
On Kensington Avenue. They have an idea,
Yeah.
but I'm talking literally like try to spend the night there if you have the guts to do it.
I don't.
It's truly, it epitomizes the failure on the war on drugs in our country.
Yeah.
And the fentanyl is just out of control.
This came out last year, or
I did it 2 years
2023?
ago. It's
Okay.
been on Amazon Prime now for almost 2 years. I have 35 films on Amazon Prime.
Wow.
So I'm just here to, again, inform, educate, and raise awareness. That's my whole goal.
Okay.
To make this world better somehow, some way.
And love hockey at the same time.
Hockey's the best, I tell you. And if anyone deserves a Stanley Cup, it's the Flyers. It's been 50 years.
Amen,
We agree
brother.
with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Charlie, thanks for stopping by. Good luck with everything. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, so it's the Swede of Philadelphia, and the screening at the Oaks Center Wednesday night with a Q&A. Make sure that you get your tickets, sweetofphiladelphia.com. And Charlie Minn, thank you very much for being here. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in just a moment. Make sure you stay close. I think there's a code phrase that they will use as well. What does this one say?
Do they have one at Floral and Hardy, Kathy?
All right, here's one in the military. Somebody who screws everyone over is known as a blue falcon in the military, which means buddy effer.
Oh.
So he screws your pal over. All right. We'll go over to Jen. Hi, Jen. Good morning. Hi, Jen. You're on the air. Good morning. Is your name Jen? Are you a special ed teacher?
This one is a little.
All right. This one is a little. Okay.
Yeah, you're reading the description there.
Okay, we're skipping that one?
Yeah, I would skip that one.
Oh, my God. Okay, yeah, we don't want to do that.
Maybe it was better.
Spanking it in school. I will go next to, let's see, I have Dan on the line. Hi, Dan. Good morning.
Dan R?
Yes. Dan R. What's up, buddy?
We have a whole list of terminology we use at work. And if you got to take a notch out of something, I'm a carpenter. It needs Ralph Macchio.
That's great.
Back to the sea hare thing. We had a guy on site that didn't realize it was a sea hare and thought it was a sea hare like the ocean. We laughed for like a day. And every time somebody needed a sea hare off, we'd all just start talking like pirates.
Well, Dan, you have a couple others that are listed up here. Give us some more in the Ralph Macchio vein.
If you got to move it a little bit, it's a smidge Pinciotti. A little shout to that 70s show.
All right.
You got Flib Tyler, John Travolta, if you got a bolt.
Oh, my
John
God.
Travolta.
I love John Travolta.
That is great. I love it.
You need a pack out. It's a Manny Pacquiao. The list goes on.
It makes it fun. Yeah.
And do they come up, just off the cuff a lot of times?
Oh, all the time. All the time.
I love it. All right. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it, man.
You guys rock. Have a great day.
You too, man.
There's a lot of code for hot women walking into certain places.
Apparently.
All right. So here's one for this person works at Primo's Hoagies. It says, we used to say, can you check the chicken? When a good-looking woman would walk in.
I wonder how many times people actually checked the chicken before they realized what was going on. There's no chicken.
Let's see. I will go to, let's go to Rob next. Hey, Rob, good morning.
Good morning, bitches.
Good morning, bitch. What's up, man?
Hey, so I do tree work. Just rock from Bucks County, do tree work, and if climbing the tree, if you need to get out on the limb, so you got to walk away from the trunk. So you're tied in. You got to walk all the way out on the limb to prune something. But somebody's too scared to walk out on the limb or inexperienced. They stay really close to the trunk, and we call them a crotch cricket.
A crotch cricket.
So
Yeah,
explain.
crotch cricket. Because the union of the branch that comes off of the tree is called a crotch.
Okay.
So we call it a crotch a lot of times.
Okay.
So if you're too scared, your knees are shaking, a guy that don't have experience, I can't walk out the limb. It's like, get out on the limb, you crotch cricket.
I'd laugh so much. I think I would go out just because it was so pleasant. Yeah.
That's great.
Crotch cricket.
Awesome,
I love it. Thanks, Rob.
Cool. All right,
Come on, you crotch cricket, move it. All right, we need to go to Sharon because here's when a hot guy comes in. We have something at a restaurant. Hi, Sharon. Good morning.
Hi.
Hi, Sharon. Okay, what type of work do you do?
Well, this is when I was working at a deli, and me and my friends, when a hot guy would walk in, we would say, "That's a Bob."
That's a Bob.
And then one guy would come in all the time, and my girlfriend would say, "That's a Bob," and I would be like, "No, no way." Well, she ended up marrying him.
Wow.
And she always said, "I never had to worry about you, like you're my husband, because you didn't like him from the beginning."
That's fun. Yeah.
That's a Bob.
And it's
Yep,
it's
that's
fun
a
having
Bob.
that second language. I'm sure you share a language with your wife, Preston,
Oh, yeah,
correct?
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm trying
it's
to.
the same thing.
And I can't think of any terminology right now, but we definitely have some things that we will say that are some sort of code speak.
We back in my pot smoking days, and my kids are listening. Whatever. I don't smoke pot anymore. We would
just to be clear.
But when we were like on the phone, we'd be like, "Yo, is Bob coming over?" And Bob was the hey, you hanging out with Bob tonight? Yo, are you bringing Bob with you?
Oh,
yeah.
So, but pot you probably shouldn't smoke, right?
Yeah.
The more you know. The more you know.
See, I stepped in with that PSA.
But dude, I did have a friend who was like totally not even discreet about it. He'd be like, because you would just try and use it and hey, is Bob coming over? Hey, bring Bob with you. Like, hey, but he'd be like, hey, is Bob going to be
you're
there?
making it sound suspicious anyway.
And when I say Bob, I mean pot.
Yeah.
If you're young, best to stay away from that stuff.
I was an adult.
All right, here's Tech says, at summer camp, we'd call hot sisters or moms Stanley, and hot brothers or dads were Stacy's.
Wow, that's complex.
Yeah, it says, yo, did you see that Stanley at archery as an example? So I think, wouldn't it be the other way around? The hot
Yeah, maybe they meant
moms and sisters
they were
would
being-
be Stacy's.
Maybe they're being sneaky.
Or maybe they were being sneaky. Yeah.
Do you know what's funny? And it hasn't aged well, Preston. In the movie Clueless, they refer to hot guys as a Baldwin.
A Baldwin.
And right now, that would not really hold up.
Here's another one that says, we work with cars. There's a viral TikTok of workers making monkey noises when management is coming.
That's not discreet.
We work with cars. Explorers are exploders. Toyotas are toy Yoda. Well, it's the same. Tacomas are tacos, and Ford Escapes are escapee. Dory from Finding Nemo. Okay, so they use little phrases for different products. I'm going to go to Matt. We're talking about at work jargon. Yo, Matt, good morning.
9 times.
9 times.
Yes.
9 times?
9
Wow.
times. 9 times. 9 times.
Matt, what's up, man?
All right, so I'm a union electrician, right? And when we're on a job, if we got a foreman that'll spend like every second of every work day just staring at you while we work, we call him a bird dog.
A bird dog.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. And would a bird dog know what that means, or is that just your own your group of guys' language?
Oh, no, they know what it means.
They know what it means. All right,
They
gotcha.
absolutely know.
It's a standard industry term. All right, thanks, Matt.
Matter of fact, a lot of us have stickers on our hard hats that have like a pointer hound with the circle and the line through it.
With a line
No
through
bird
it.
dogs.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. Let me go over to I don't know who this is. Hi, you're on the air. I have no name for you. You work in a restaurant? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, that's you. Hi, what is your
I'm sorry, I said Amanda, but it's fine.
There we go.
Yeah, so I used to work in a restaurant, as most young kids did before my big girl job, and we used to track mullets that walked in.
Okay, and how would you indicate that?
So if you make like an L with your hand, an upside down L was a man mullet, because it's got your fingers pointing down like the back of the mullet.
Right.
But a regular L was a lady mullet.
Okay.
And so we would put it up on our chest and say 23. And you'd walk by and be like, oh, that's a good, so whenever we saw a mullet, it was like.
So to explain what you're talking about, if you were to do like a hand pistol and point the barrel to the ground,
Right.
that would be a man mullet.
That's a man mullet.
Okay.
I love it. And then the number was
almost like a loser symbol.
right.
Gotcha.
And so you would do that and then give a number, and would that coincide with a table?
With the table.
There you go. I love that. I love that. Thank you, Amanda.
And frankly, I'm always happy not knowing. Obviously, this is being carried on away from your knowledge, and that's probably best.
Okay, let me go to Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Good morning. Gadzooks, Michelle.
I worked overnight at a CVS, and my supervisor and I, we would, I'd be in the front and he'd be in the back, and I would announce a code Q when a hot guy came in, and we would have a game, he would have to go around the store and find who I was talking about.
Find the Coke cue.
Oh, that's
I love it.
great. And
Especially an overnight.
So you would do that on the intercom in the store?
Yeah.
That's great.
My supervisor was, gay, and he was always looking for people, and I would just announce, code Q. That was for cutie, and he would have to walk around and find who I was talking about.
Love it.
That's excellent.
I love it.
That's great. All right, thank you, Michelle. All right, Casey, which line?
2, David.
All right, let me go to him. Hi, David, good morning.
Good morning, folks.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
I'm a juvenile probation officer, and I work in the house arrest with the devices on the ankles.
Okay.
And we get a lot of recidivists. That's the terminology. But usually they like you, and they're being very friendly because they like that somebody's treating them with respect and talking to them and paying attention.
Right.
Or they really hate you and they're angry at you. So we'll call them your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your son or your daughter. Like if it's a female probation officer going out there, oh, your boyfriend's here. Repeat offender.
That's
They keep coming back.
Okay.
That's the standard. Yeah,
So
I've
boyfriend
actually
or
heard that. Yeah.
girlfriend would be a term for a repeat offender. I gotcha. Makes sense. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, David. Appreciate it. Let's go to Kenny. Hey, Kenny. Good morning. That's what we do when an attractive person comes into the office.
We're really discreet.
Yeah, very
about
discreet
it.
about it. What's up, Kenny?
How's everybody?
Much, Marissa, just a couple things before we move on to the bizarre file. We made some announcements this morning. Our friends at Nifty 50s back on board again this year with our amazing gingerbread blast milkshake. Like, I'm serious, gang. It's so damn good. If you go, they are available starting today through November 23rd. And this year comes with a bonus collectible, Preston and Steve Camp Out for Hunger cup. And a portion of the proceeds will benefit the Camp Out for Hunger, but it is so good. Jackie, who was here earlier, was telling us all the ingredients in there. Obviously, there's a gingerbread flavor, but there's a rum syrup flavor. There is malt in there. It is, man, is it good. And little bits of graham cracker. And
do you understand when I say that I actually get angry at it?
Yeah, for being so good. Agreed. Yeah.
Damn you.
Damn you, Nifty 50s.
I hate you.
All right, so stop by today. You can go to nifty50s.com. We'll do another giveaway here in just a moment. And, we had touched on Camp Out for Hunger. I told, if you tuned in at the earlier portion of the program, with the loss of Pierre last week in those first couple of days, we were thrown by such a loop on a number of ways. One of them was the shock of it all, and then right afterwards, like, oh my God, we still have to work.
Yeah,
we have to figure out how we are going to, get not past our grief, but deal with our grief and conduct business at the same time. And one of those underlying thoughts was, what about our Camp Out for Hunger? I mean, how can we possibly do this? How can we set up a stage and a tent and have guests and music and everybody, being in a great mood, wanting to help at this great cause that initially we almost thought, let's not do it. It's just, this tragedy is too soon. And like I said on the air, our friend Rodney Bird, our engineer, he's like, just give it a couple days, hang on a minute. Right. I think you're going to understand that it's the right thing to do it because Pierre was so giving, and this was one of his favorite events of the year. And of course, wholeheartedly behind the whole thing. So Rodney was right. We thought about it a few days. We're like, yes, it would be dumb to not do it.
Yeah, because I would posit that it was his main passion, this event in and of itself, because it encapsulated all that Pierre wanted to do, which was he wanted to feed souls and physically feed people who were in need. And you know how much it meant to him.
Yes.
I mean, think of the legendary codas to all of the, and the Camp Out would not wrap up until Pierre came and gave the last words of the event and the emotion involved with that. So, we're going to do it. We're going to do it big, and we're going to do it the best we can with your help.
And we're also going to be able to laugh and have a good time in light, aside from this tragedy, along with this tragedy. And we will be carrying on that in Pierre's name. And you can, if you wanted to support Pierre, you can support the Camp Out for Hunger. So with that, with the having fun and making this a festive event. We are going to do, and we announced it early this morning, we're going to do comedy night at the Camp Out for Hunger. And what's great about this is pretty much everybody that's on this bill grew up listening to Pierre Robert.
Yeah, it's true.
So this is going to be on Tuesday night. Showtime is 7:30. Doors open at 7. We highly recommend you get there early. There is a Sixers game that night, but we're going to be featuring Blake Wexler, Jake Matera, Mary Rudzinski, Pat House, and Ian Fidance. So we just ask you make a donation, and you can come in for the event. So this is all to support the Camp Out for Hunger. So mark that in your calendar. Tuesday night is that. Thursday night is the food trucks and fireworks event. And we're still planning on carrying on with, we'd said we're bringing some drum lines out. We're going to have our house bands out. We're going to do all this stuff. And we're doing it with even this greater presence on us with Pierre Robert there in spirit.
So right now, as we look at the long term, we're looking at 50s and low 60s for next week.
Yeah, I'm hoping that holds out.
Which
would be perfect.
It would be wonderful.
That's right in the sweet spot. So you can go to WMMR.com/campout and get the information. We're constantly adding things to that. So we appreciate it. And I just want to make you aware of that. All right, let's get to the Bizarre File now.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
And it is brought to you by Helium Comedy Club.
There you go.
Our friends, they're bringing Philly the best comics of today and tomorrow live each week. Tickets and lineup at heliumcomedy.com. Well, in Germany, a drunk young man called emergency services shortly before 11 p.m. on Wednesday night in the southern town of Schwabisch Hall, telling the operator that he did not know where he was. As he also said that he was injured, officers launched a search operation. Now, the 28-year-old man, according to the police, they said a 28-year-old man would be located shortly thereafter on the shop floor of a closed butcher shop. Based on preliminary investigations, police said the man appeared to have fallen out of a pub window, possibly as a result of his alcohol intake, and into the interior yard of the butcher next door. He subsequently gained entrance to the store, and after that, he consumed several sausages and then alerted the police.
All right. Where are the sausages?
The man was taken to a nearby clinic in an ambulance for treatment. The butcher shop's branch manager, who was alerted by police just before 1 a.m., expressed surprise, saying the person was just lying there in our shop. She reported that a pigeon net on the building had been torn and the door to the butcher shop damaged, and 2 sausages were taken out of cold storage.
Sausages. Yeah, I feel very good now.
So police.
What's all these pigeon feathers in my hair?
Maybe it was Peter, our buddy from Austria.
By the way, I messaged him over the weekend.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
about Pierre?
To let him know, yeah.
I thought about reaching out to him.
Yeah.
Police did not mention whether or not the butcher was compensated for their wares. The authorities also did not provide details about the man's injuries. He was not able to respond to questions.
I left some money on the counter for the sausages.
He was being investigated on suspicion of a property crime after that. Passengers on what should have been a routine United Airlines flight from Des Moines to Chicago O'Hare faced a frustrating 4-hour delay on Monday after 2 of the flight attendants got into a fight on the airplane before takeoff. These are the 2 flight attendants.
I'm going to kill you.
The situation reportedly became so heated that members of United's airport management team had to deplane the passengers off the Airbus A320.
I demonstrate the vest.
Pull off all of the flight attendants from the flight and then find a replacement set of crew members to work the flight. The incident occurred as United Airline Flight 2138 was preparing to depart Des Moines International Airport. The flight was due to take off at 11:26 a.m., but as the scheduled departure passed by, it soon became apparent that what was unfolding.
You can't demonstrate the seatbelt to save your ass.
An argument between 2 of the flight attendants was the root cause of the hours-long delay. The plane was deplaned around 12:10 as United scrambled to find replacement crews and ended up leaving Des Moines around 3:24. While thankfully uncommon, disagreements between flight attendants can sometimes become pretty heated. In 2023, 2 American Eagle flight attendants got into a fight over a seating issue, which ended up with the service being delayed by more than 2 hours. In that incident, ESPN reporter Ashley Brewer had documented the situation, explaining that the 2 flight attendants refused to work with one another after a heated argument. According to Brewer, one of the passengers sitting in first class had asked to switch seats with a man sitting in coach so she could sit with her husband, while one of the flight attendants said this was fine. The other one disagreed, and a verbal fight ensued, and they actually had to delay the
I tell you
flight.
what, if it was a boring flight, I might be into a little.
That'd be some entertainment.
Brawling. Yeah.
A 12-year-old boy trapped under a crashed helicopter in Huntington Beach, California, in an unlikely chain of events, is on the path to recovery after a memorable birthday that boosted his family's spirits. Oliver Holland was pinned under the helicopter when it crashed on October 11th in a beach parking lot, injuring 5 people. He had been in a medically induced coma until he woke up over the weekend on his 12th birthday after surgeries for collapsed lung and bleeding in his brain.
You were in that helicopter.
Madeline Ashwell said,
you know he was.
He was on the ground. He was hit by the helicopter. Well, I guess he ended up in the helicopter. He ended up in the helicopter. Madeline Ashwell said, I was there when he woke up, and I was just crying tears of joy. The helicopter went down next to the Hyatt Regency Huntington Beach Resort and Spa. Part of the heavily damaged helicopter came to rest on top of a staircase leading from the parking lot. Holland was...
You were in that helicopter.
Holland was with relatives from out of town and walking to the bridge from the beach when the helicopter crashed.
Jeez.
Ashwell said, wrong place, wrong time. If Oliver was 5 feet forward, it wouldn't have hit him. And what we've told him, she said, is that it was just an accident. And what he says is, how did this happen? Why did that helicopter land on me?
Question.
The video showed the helicopter hovering over a lot before spinning out of control. It crashed into palm trees before falling onto one end of the pedestrian bridge.
You were in that helicopter.
Over the PCH. Video showed Holland on a pedestrian bridge staircase pinned under the wreckage. The National Transportation Safety Board has taken over the investigation, but the kid's doing okay.
That's amazing.
A very good thing. All right, and then one final story, and we will wrap things up. A woman is suing SeaWorld Orlando after a duck allegedly entered a roller coaster's path and struck her in the face, knocking her unconscious and injuring her.
That's a Fabio thing.
Yeah. The incident occurred while the complainant was riding the Mako roller coaster. The woman is seeking at least $50,000 in damages for what she says is negligence on the part of SeaWorld, which led to the flying duck striking her. The complaint alleges that SeaWorld was negligent in maintaining its premises in a reasonably safe condition and did not warn of any dangerous conditions about which it knew or should have known.
By the way, you might hit a duck.
The woman allegedly suffered permanent injuries, pain and suffering, both physical and mental nature, and the loss of ability to lead and enjoy a normal life.
It's the one time where the warning is the response to the warning.
Duck!
Where?
Loss of capacity for the enjoyment of life, the aggravation of an existing condition, and more. Morgan & Morgan are representing the woman, and a jury trial is sought in the case. The incident was not reported to the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, which requires that theme parks like SeaWorld and Walt Disney World to report injuries.
Duck collisions?
On their attractions. Maybe so, yeah. And there you go. That's what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, let's give away some of that nifty 50s love. We do have the $50 gift cards, and you can go and try the Preston and Steve Gingerbread Blast in the new collectible cup. So we'll take caller number 23 because it ends on the 23rd, okay? So it's now through the 23rd, and a portion of the proceeds will serve the camp out for hunger. You can take some members at Nifty 50s, or you can be calling number 23 right now at 610-660-9333, and you get that $50 gift card. We are going to take a quick break. We'll come back in just a sec. We have Lesson, Question, Trash, and Music News on the way.
Logistics plant, warehouse type of deal, was a 100,000 square foot building.
Wow.
And a lot of guys working, packing boxes, and the bosses were tough. They wanted to make sure you're working 1,000,000 miles a minute, and they would walk around at each department, and we had a code. It was 10, like the number 10 when they were coming.
All right.
And they were getting close because the head manager was a tall, slender guy, and the owner was a short, fat guy. So next to each other, they looked like the number 10. So that was our code.
That's excellent.
That's excellent, yes.
Oh, my God.
It's like hot dog and hamburger, right?
Totally. And you call it out, and they would know they'd be on the way. Nice. All right. How about military jargon? We're going to go to Jeremy. Hey, Jeremy, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, buddy.
I'm listener, first-time caller.
Excellent. Appreciate it, man. All right, you were military, Jeremy?
Yeah, so I was in the military for 6 years, and whenever we did guard duty, we would, somebody who just didn't have any of their stuff together, we'd be like, oh, that's an ID-10 Tango right there.
ID-10 Tango, and what does that mean?
So that's idiots in the phonetical alphabet.
Yeah, because when you write it out.
Yeah, ID-10 Tango.
Yeah, I got it.
I think I might use that one.
That's great. Sounds so official.
Yeah.
ID-10 Tango. Nice. All right. Thanks,
That's
Jeremy.
great.
Appreciate it, man. Let's go over here to Justin. Hi, Justin. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, buddy. All right. So we're talking about at-work speak, jargon, and what would you guys use, and what did you do?
Well, basically, whenever any good-looking girl or whatever came in, we'd say, so-and-so, whatever the name is that was working next to me.
Yep.
We'd say line 6.
Line 6.
Line 6.
We didn't have a line 6 on the phone or anything, so we kind of knew, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, so and where was this you were working, Justin?
I'm
What
an
type
auto
of work?
technician. Auto technician.
Auto technician?
Auto
Okay,
technician.
all right, I got you.
So,
Yep.
So line 6, and that was the phrase, and everybody knew it.
Yes, sir.
That seems to generate, obviously, identifying attractive people is definitely a large part of code speak.
Yep. We'll go over to Don next. Hey, Don, good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, so I used to work at Victoria's Secret, and around the holiday time, we would have a lot of people trying to steal stuff. So the code word, if someone was trying to steal something, was, I think we got a Susie.
A Susie.
A Susie. Now, what was that based on? Just a random selection of a name, or does it have any meaning beyond that?
Just a Susie is just like someone that's probably going to steal something. Like around the holiday time, it's really big. Like a lot of people steal the perfumes and bras. I don't know.
You're right. So in malls, if you ever had a mall job or a store job, where there's a lot of inventory, a lot of people coming in and out. There are a lot of code words for people they believe are shoplifting. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yep, I like Susie. Thank you very much. Let me get one more. This is Dave. This should be interesting. Hey, Dave.
I want to take his out back and punch his. All he is. Right now, I'll take his physically.
That's very well done.
Get away from me.
So, I used to work at a theme park, Sesame Place in the area.
All right.
And I was in the parks department where we would clean up all the spills, and bathroom accidents. Well, any incident that had a correlation to one of the characters, we use that color. So if there was a blood incident, you have a code Elmo.
Oh, my God.
If there was a pee incident, it'd be a code Big Bird. And the greatest one that I still use to this day is if there was a brown incident, it would be called a code Snuffy.
Snuffy.
Snuffleupagus.
Was this like all the employees knew this, or this was just you and the guys you worked with?
This was the actual codes that would go over the radio.
Oh, my God, that's really funny.
My Aunt Chris, who works at a hospital in the area, actually found them so hilarious that she took the codes into her hospital, and her staff now use those throughout the hospital.
So P Big
Chris, I love you very much.
P is Big Bird, blood is Elmo, and Snuffleupagus is poop crap. Yeah.
I love
And if
that,
there was
Dave.
a throw up would be Oscar.
Oscar, I knew it. Yep. Well done. Excellent.
Oh,
All
it's
right,
so
thanks,
magical
Dave.
here. They keep making announcements.
By myself, I'll take you physically.
I got to go to this one. Okay, so I don't know what Ben did, where he worked, but this is interesting. Hey, Ben, good morning. Hi, Ben, you're on the air, bud. Is your name Ben?
I'm Tim.
Ken. It's Ken.
Oh.
Tim.
Or Tim?
Tim.
All right, Tim. All right, so what kind of work did you do, Tim?
So I have a construction company, and it's a small company. It's me and two guys, and we're working on this house on a park. And there's tons of women walking by. So if a woman walked by and had big breasts, we're always playing the radio. So we'll put on play the John Mellencamp song.
Okay. Melons.
And then if a woman with a large butt will yell out Wayne Gretzky because he's number 99. 99 can look like a nice butt with two legs.
See, it's
Wayne.
It's thought out there.
Yep.
Mellencamp and Wayne Gretzky. It makes sense.
All right, thanks, Tim. I appreciate it. All right, so if you're in an establishment and you're a customer and you hear something that doesn't make any sense at all to you,
Right.
they might be talking about you for all you know. You
It's
never
possible.
know. There's a secret language. All right, thank you for sharing, gang. We appreciate that, all the calls, all the texts, but we got to take a break. We'll come back in a second. We have Bizarre File Stories, and after that, we have Impact Wrestlers stopping in. We have Ali Sheedy on the show as well. Hang in there. Be back shortly.
Preston and Steve.
Rochelle, my wife, watches shows that I don't watch. She watches like 90 Day Fiance and Love is Blind and things like this. So she started watching this show over the weekend on Netflix, and it's called The Circle. And apparently it's been out. It's had several seasons. It's the third season. And in the first season, there's a couple people. There's a dude from Conchi.
Oh, yeah.
That's on the show.
Really?
Yeah. A guy from Conchi and his mom. And
yes.
I ran into his mom a couple of times. I believe she's a realtor in...
she's a character.
In Conshohocken. Yes, and she was also a character when I saw her in person. But she listens to the show, and she was like... Yes.
And there's a gal from Delco on it.
What's the premise of the show?
She went to Cabrini. Okay, so it's... They put these people in this... I don't know, apartments or whatever. They give them a place to stay. Everybody's sequestered. They're on their own. You have no outside sources. You don't have a phone or anything like that, okay? And you communicate via text only. There's like a message board of sorts.
Okay, so you never see each other.
You never see each other. You have a picture of you, or you might be catfishing. You might be pretending to be someone else.
All right.
Now, listen, I don't watch this, so I've been told that this is how the show goes. So anyhow, they all communicate via text or sending messages back and forth to each other. I don't know what the nature of these conversations are or how they get started, but nonetheless, there's a voting system. The people that are considered, you get to vote for other people who you think is your favorite. Another one of those connections that we didn't know about. You know, that was fans from the world of rock and music in general, checking in to pay their respects to that wonderful individual, and that continues on over the weekend. You know, found out that, and I'd mentioned this on the air earlier today, that Don Henley and Irving Azoff, one of the heavyweights in the music industry,
super huge,
want to make a donation in Pierre's honor. So more accolades and acknowledgments like that continuing to come in, and will for quite some time. I'm certain of it. All right, we have a prize to give away with a lesson question. We have a $50 gift card to Nifty 50s. We've already been giving those away. We're going to give away another one, but you need to answer a question in order to get it. So here is the question we pose. You can get a delicious Hershey bar when you stay at the Hershey Lodge or Hershey Hotel. What kind of condom does Steve like to get? What's it made out of? 610-660-9333. In your wildest dreams, you'll never guess that, so you need to have heard it earlier in order to answer, so only call if you know what that is. You can get a delicious Hershey bar when you stay at the Hershey Lodge or Hershey Hotel. What kind of condom does Steve like to get? 610-660-9333. If you heard that, you were listening, you know the answer. Call right now. We'll get to the trash while you're calling in.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Without further ado, what's up this morning, Steve?
Well, Preston, a self-described dwarf influencer named Rachel Worley has filed an order of protection against another little person, an obsessed fan named Eric Poulon. The overseeing judge says he will not be spending much time on the situation because he's dealing with bigger issues.
Oh, my God.
Sydney Sweeney seen briefly chatting with ex-fiancé Jonathan Davino outside an L.A. restaurant. Apparently, Davino's bid to get Sweeney back ended when he accidentally blurted out that he really misses them. And finally, Dwayne Roberts, the billionaire businessman credited with inventing the frozen burrito, has died. Amazingly, Roberts' creation was an accident, as he was actually looking to create the world's first black bean-filled condom. That's your Hollywood Trash.
All right, we're looking for the answer to the question this morning. You can get a delicious Hershey bar when you stay at the Hershey Lodge, but what kind of condom does Steve like to get? And it is Anthony that has called in. We'll see if he gets it right. Anthony, good morning.
Hey, good morning to everyone.
All right, Anthony, what kind of condom does Steve like?
Big League Chew.
Big League Chew. Yep. Hang on there, bud. And you just got yourself a $50 gift card to Nifty 50s. And they now have the Preston and Steve inspired milkshake gingerbread blast. And it's available through November 23rd Order it and help support the Camp Out for Hunger. Taste the memories at Nifty 50.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you this morning by Horizon Services. They're helping you prepare your home for the season with $99 plumbing and electrical inspections. Plus, get same-day emergency service any day of the week, even on holidays. You can book today at Com.
Com.
It just says you can book today at Com. Actually, it's horizonservices.com. All right, so everyone is going to be undisturbed for a while. The band will take a long break next year after finishing their European tour celebrating the 25th anniversary of their debut album, The Sickness.
Sick.
Guitarist Dan Donegan said the band had a successful run with packed shows and support from Megadeth, but they need time off after touring heavily this year. Several band members and crew also lost relatives while on tour in Europe, including Donegan's uncle and his guitar tech's father and cousin. The band has no plans to tour or make new music for a while as members deal with personal matters and spend time with family during the holidays. Taylor Momsen has re-recorded a rock version of Where Are You, Christmas, 25 years after singing it as Cindy Lou Who in the movie How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Yes, I've not heard it yet. I got to make sure I check that out. The new version appears on the Pretty Reckless's holiday EP called Taylor Momsen's Pretty Reckless Christmas, which came out on Friday. The update song starts with a clip from her childhood recording before turning into a full rock version with heavy guitars. The 6-song EP also includes 4 original Christmas songs, and Momsen, who was 7 years old when she first performed the song in 2000, said that the project grew from one song into a full body of work that became more personal than she expected.
I have to admit, it's not one of my favorite, the movie, but she is a highlight in the movie. She's adorable.
Oh, and a reminder, we have a concert announcement coming up at the end of Music News here. I want to pass that along. And it's hard to believe that she's 32 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, she still seems like a teenager to me.
She sure does.
To be honest. She looks very youthful, obviously. But, she's been at it for a while. To mark the 25th anniversary of their Awake album, Godsmack has announced the collection will be reissued with plenty of bonus material. The expanded edition of their sophomore album will be available on a dual LP smoky green colored vinyl and on CD. The commemorative edition includes a holographic lithograph of the cover art and features 5 bonus tracks, including Why, which was featured on the Any Given Sunday soundtrack, and a cover of Black Sabbath's classic Sweet Leaf. The album comes out on March 6th. The wives of the Beatles members for the multiple upcoming biopics have been announced. Mia McKenna-Bruce, Saoirse Ronan, Anna Sawai, and Amy Lou Wood have all joined the Beatles, a 4-film cinematic event. McKenna-Bruce will play Maureen Starkey.
Okay.
Ronan will portray Linda McCartney. I think that's a good choice.
That is good casting.
Sawai takes on Yoko Ono, and Wood will star as Patty Boyd. I don't know who's going to be Cynthia Lennon. So there's another wife in there.
Wife, yeah.
The films will also feature Paul Mescal as Paul McCartney, Barry Keoghan as Ringo Starr, Joseph Quinn as George Harrison, and Harris Dickinson as John Lennon.
This is an interesting series of projects here. This whole the 4 films about the 4 separate Beatles with everything surrounding them. This is wild. We're looking at the pictures. I mean, they're all pretty fabulous looking. But we'll see how it plays out. I don't know.
Yeah. So, Amy Lou Wood. I forgot she was from White Lotus.
That's right. Yeah.
The second or was that the
most
fourth?
Recent?
Yeah. What is that? The 3rd season?
Yeah.
Third season. Yeah. Okay. And then finally, The Cure have announced The Cure, the show of A Lost World, live concert film of their performance in London from November 1st, just last year. The Intimate show also streamed to over 1 million fans on YouTube at the time, featuring their full Songs of a Lost World album, classics from 17 Seconds, and more. The band previously released part of the performance as Songs of a Live World Troxy London 2024, donating all royalties to the War Child charity. And, back off.
Yeah. Back off, War Child, seriously.
One goes out to War Child.
Who needs tobacco?
Seriously.
Yeah.
That would be a waste of time.
Now the full set has been touched up and made ready for the big screen. The film will premiere in cinemas worldwide on December 11th.
Seriously.
With Blu-ray.
Back off, war child. Seriously.
With
I mean it.
Blu-ray and DVD version
I don't have a president's mask. Give me a president's mask.
to follow later in the month. Tickets will go on sale on November 20th.
All right, Robert Smith in the it's one of the surfers
in Point Break.
I want to go surfing too.
All right, we have a concert announcement. How about this show, man? This show will be at Lincoln Financial Field in 2026.
So an intimate show.
Yeah, an intimate show. All right, and let's see. The show will be Tuesday, September 29th. Ladies and gentlemen, AC/DC is coming back to town. Wow. It is the Power Up Tour 2026. And opening the show, The Pretty Reckless.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's fantastic. And tickets will go on sale this Friday at noon via Ticketmaster. You know, I have never seen AC/DC in concert.
No.
All these years, I never have been to see AC/DC. That's going to have to change. Tuesday, September 29th, Lincoln Financial Field. We have your opportunity to win tickets. It says here all week long. I don't know who's got them or when we're going to give them away, but it says listen to win tickets this week. And like I said, tickets are going to go on sale Friday at noon via Ticketmaster. You can go to WMMR.com and get the information. But that is a badass bill. I'm so happy that Taylor and the crew and Pretty Reckless are going to be.
She has to be stoked.
The opening act, and they'll be here in Philadelphia. So a September 29th show outside. That's getting a little late in the season. I like that idea.
Well, you can also do pumpkin carving.
You could do that too.
Yeah.
So stay tuned to MMR for more details on that, but tickets go on sale this Friday through Ticketmaster. And again, write down that date, Tuesday, September 29th at the link. Lincoln Financial Field. MMR excited to welcome AC/DC back to Philadelphia with the Pretty Reckless. And stay tuned because we will have chances to win tickets this week. All right, with that, we are going to take another break. We'll come back. It's our final break. When we return, we'll get the letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize. Stay with us. Something like that. And whoever the top two that get the most votes are then able to vote people out. But they keep rotating. Like this, if they vote you out, then they bring new people in.
Hence the circle.
And the circle. And it keeps going. I don't know what the point of the show is. I don't know if there's a prize. All I know is that my wife and daughter are now on board, and I hear them laughing hysterically while they're watching the show, and they're talking about so-and-so and this person and that person and doing this and this, and they find it hilarious. But the dude from Conchi, his accent is so Delco.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, my God. It is, yeah, it's definitely all over it. And the girl is also, who's from Delaware County. I just know sketches of information. But I thought it was pretty funny. When the guy, I did see his indoctrination into the show, and he's like, yeah, from Conshohocken. I'm like, did he just say Conshohocken? Like, when do you ever hear the town of Conshohocken mentioned on a syndicated television show?
Isn't it hilarious, though, how giddy you get? Like, if in a show, listen, with all this going on in the world, if I see something I recognize, like our skyline in a movie,
I know, totally.
And it's just something that you can't help it. So when you hear a contestant, I don't care how bad the show is, and we're looking at the trailer for the show, and it looks pretty bad. But, hey, it's cool.
I can't help but think, though, people who know nothing about this area who actually just hear the word Conshohocken and say, what in the hell is that?
Well, I told you I've bemoaned the fact for years that anytime someone is from Long Island, New York, which is where I spent most of my earlier formative years, they're a raving moron. And that's the way it's constantly the way it is. Yeah, this kind of guy. And so there's a lot more people on Long Island, but that's the impression you would get all the time.
Okay, so the guy's name is Ed. Somebody's texting in about him, and he was on The Challenge I guess, which was on MTV.
It used to be the Road Rules versus Real World Challenge, and now it's just
Oh.
called The Challenge.
Oh, really?
So does this have a vibe like that, like an MTV Real World?
Not. I didn't get Real World from
Well, you're
it.
not
but
watching it.
But it's definitely got that MTV sensibility. And
All
they're
right.
really playing it up for the camera and
I
everything.
got
But
ya.
all I know is Rochelle and Caroline are laughing their asses off while watching the show. So good for them. I'm glad they found the show.
Sure.
Now, there's another show on Netflix, and I have not seen this. Steve has, though, that has a tie to our area. And it's on Netflix, and it's The Worst Roommate Ever.
Casey had mentioned it last week as well. You watched one of the episodes. I think this might have been the premiere. I watched that one as well with an older woman. So this is, as you would imagine, these are sociopaths who end up being, living in proximity to you or whatever. And then this story arose, Preston, that you're going to talk about.
Yeah, some dude who ended up, the people ended up dead in this particular story.
That's kind of an underlying theme to all of these, Preston.
Yeah, the first two episodes I watched, and people were dead.
So this was in Montco. So in 2017, it's the saga of a serial squatter, and it ended in 2 shocking deaths in Montgomery County. The story is available for streaming on the Netflix series, and it's based on New York Magazine's viral 2018 article, The Worst Roommate Ever. The series of the same title tells the story of Jameson Bachman, or as his Chestnut Hill roommate Alex Miller came to know him as Jed Creek. So his name is Jameson Bachman, but he went by Jed Creek, a name that he had used to respond to a fateful Craigslist ad that Miller had posted seeking a roommate. And that exchange would serve as the beginning of an increasingly nightmarish string of events. So you can watch this episode, but I'm gonna reveal what happened here if you don't mind.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so as Jed Bachman contacted Miller about the room, saying that he was a lawyer from New York who had grown up outside of Philly and that he needed a place to stay in the area to deal with some family issues. And after meeting up, the two became roommates. Bachman wrote a check for Miller immediately and then moved in the same evening. And it started to get weird almost immediately, according to this article. Bachman showed up with 6 plastic bins, which contained all of his worldly possessions, as well as a cat, which Miller was allergic to and unaware that Bachman had. Bachman removed light bulbs from shared living spaces, took kitchen chairs to build a desk in his room, moved Miller's personal items around, and then refused to pay his portion of the utility bills. And after finding a cigarette butt in the toilet bowl, Bachman refused to pay the next month's rent, insinuating that Miller had broken the, quote, warranty of habitability. There you go.
Yeah.
A warranty of habitability and covenant of quiet enjoyment. That's what he called these. He said, according to Miller, he said, we agreed that he would share the cost of paying the bills. And he said later, Jed would laugh at me when I asked him to pay the bills.
It's not a good sign.
And he said when he laughed at me, it was sinister. It was demeaning. It was patronizing, like I was stupid. Miller's mother ran a search on Bachman's phone number, revealing that he wasn't Jed Creek at all. Instead, they found out that his true identity was Bachman and that he was a serial squatter who had terrorized roommates up and down the East Coast.
When you're locked into an effing nightmare like that, it just seems like there's no way out.
Bachman, Miller found out, knew just enough about tenancy laws to take advantage of roommates by not paying rent, refusing to leave, and eventually forcing them to move out of their own houses. Primarily, he'd accomplished that through weird domestic torture, like clogging toilets with cat litter. But at least one former roommate, a woman named Arlene Herbiden, had physical altercations with Bachman that resulted in restraining orders. Bachman even took 2 of her cats to area kill shelters after taking over her apartment.
Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Another former roommate, someone named Sonia Acevedo, found that he regularly behaved violently. Acevedo came to block herself in her own room with a chair, worried that he might snap at any time, and booby-trapped the door when she wasn't home to see if he was entering her space. By the way, Bachman was from Elkins Park. He graduated from Cheltenham High School in 1974.
Yay.
Friends interviewed in the series described him as smart, charming, and good-looking, and said most people thought that he had a bright future despite a tumultuous family background. He attended Tulane University in New Orleans, but it was there that one friend, identified as Bob F., says Bachman witnessed a brutal murder and that changed him forever. So a guy named Ken Gutziet a friend of Bachman's, was murdered at a frat house following an argument at the school's library. Gutzeit bled to death from a slashed neck. And after witnessing that, Bob F. says that that changed Bachman's outlook from upbeat and positive to very dark and very paranoid.
This is the nightmare, I think, of, and I know people who do it will enter into living situations, with basic strangers, with a very little bit of vetting.
Right.
And I think, like, in this series kind of focuses in on a number of these situations that go horribly wrong.
I had to live with somebody for a couple months that I didn't know.
Right.
I'll tell you about that in a second. I'm going to get you a little bit more on this. And if you have a roommate that went nutty on you, story, feel free to give us a call, 215-263-WMMR. So after learning Bachman's true identity, Miller threw a lengthy party at her home with drinking, smoking, and rap music, 3 of Bachman's apparent pet peeves, as a way to get him to want to leave. Well, that escalated into assault. Bachman choked Miller, slamming her leg in a door, slashing at her with a knife. He was arrested, and Miller filed for a protection from abuse order that included Bachman's eviction. Bachman's brother, Harry, ended up bailing him out of jail twice, which ultimately would result in both of their deaths. So in November 2017, and I don't remember seeing this story, but Bachman killed Harry in his brother's Elkins Park home. Killed his own brother. In his home.
Yes.
With the district attorney's office saying that Harry suffered blunt force trauma to the head and body. After the murder, Bachman fled in his brother's car and used his credit card to check into a hotel in Upper Moreland Township. And there, a SWAT team served an arrest warrant on Bachman, but not without a struggle. As the series points out, Bachman swung a camp-style axe at officers.
I do remember this.
Striking one in the face and another one in the arm before being taken to custody. However, he would never go to trial for Harry's murder. He hanged himself in his cell at Montgomery County Correctional Facility.
So he ends up killing his own brother.
60 years old.
He's got his list of things. He tortures his roommates. Kitty litter in the, to back up the toilet.
Yeah. And he was doing that regularly.
Yeah,
He would live with people and drive them crazy.
And then chase them out.
And what are you getting out of that?
That's the question. Is it because
Prayer? Bon Jovi, 93.3 WMMR. Of course, everything that rocks. Preston and Steve show on this Monday morning. Broadcast day coming to a close. We've had a full day today. And actually, a nice day today. And it was good to have a nice day. We had started off the morning by recapping the gathering at Rittenhouse Square. I want to thank Casey again for coming up with the idea in the first place and just thought it'd be casually throw something out there and see if any responds, and if so, wonderful. If not, it's okay. It's going to be a beautiful day. Be at the park and just think about our friend Pierre.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be a gathering of hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And made it on every news station and was very cathartic. And
It really was. I mean,
healing.
And it was. It was just a simple hang with a few hundred people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. And we'll definitely be planning some more formal things down the road and more organized and get together. But this was just such a cool thing to see. I wish I could have been there. Ryan Shuttleworth, who's in here, is going to be coming up next, and you obviously are right in the middle of all that.
Yeah, I want to just say thank you again. I want to thank Casey for just having the foresight. I also want to thank Nick, who spoke so beautifully as well at this gathering. I mean, I think yesterday was for me. It was the first day where I started to heal. It was. We smiled, we danced. There were people of all shapes and sizes. There were dogs to pet. It was just perfect, utterly perfect.
Beautiful day in his favorite place.
Yeah,
so that's wonderful. And I want to say hats off to you. And I'm gonna go through my list of thank yous here, and we'll go through the formalities that we do at the end of the program here. But you and the rest of the staff who have been anchoring during Pierre's time slot, and very difficult to do. Like I said, we had to, while we were in the throes of the shock, we had to go, oh my God, we have to work too.
Yep.
And very publicly work. And so it hasn't been no easy task. You and the rotating crew of Sarah and Ray and everybody else. So, our returning friends like Pancake, and of course Jason was in there for all of this. And I know that it's probably going to carry on as a rotating staff for a little while.
Yeah.
Until more permanent or semi-permanent or however this works out arrangements
We don't know.
can be made. Yeah.
Yeah, I
We're
think-
still making it up as we go along right now.
In true Pierre fashion, of course we are.
Yeah.
I think that for all, and I'm not going to speak for all of us, but I can just speak for myself. And I think we all have this feeling that he's still here because his mission is still here. And I feel like it's up to us now to all be Pierre Robert and to continue to unite and bring people together with compassion and love and this great music as the grand unifier that he is. And I think we're all just trying to be stewards of that voice and that mission.
Yep, I love it. Well put, sir. All right, well, we carry on with a few things. One of them is the thank yous I need to do. Thank you to our friends at Nifty 50s for being here this morning. Jackie and Amy came by and they brought by the gingerbread blast. It is insanely good, this milkshake. Don't even, the calories don't count because it's for charity.
Yeah.
They don't count. And you can stop by your local Nifty 50s. There's 10 of them for you to visit. And you get to keep the cup, which is great. It's got the Preston and Steve logo, Nifty 50s, and the Camp Out for Hunger on there.
Wait, you get a cup?
You get
a cup.
You get a cup.
Nice.
Yeah, a cup.
Nice.
And a portion of the proceeds benefit the Camp Out for Hunger. And you can go to nifty50s.com and find a location near you. What?
My own idiocy.
Yeah,
a cup.
Yep.
The hell is
And we would like to thank our guest, director Charlie Minn.
Yes.
Who came on this morning. Documentary about Pele Lindbergh. Which is a story that's long overdue to be told. It's called The Swede of Philadelphia. There's a special screening on Wednesday night. It's at 6 p.m. at the Oaks Center Cinema. There's a Q&A with Charlie afterwards, and there's a full list of screenings available at swedeofphiladelphia.com. And we had a concert announcement with AC/DC coming to town in September. Tickets go on sale Friday. You can go to WMMR.com to get the details there. And we had an announcement about our comedy night at the Camp Out for Hunger, Tuesday night, the 11th, a week from tomorrow. And it'll be inside Stateside Live at the Miller Time Beer Hall. And we're looking forward to our friends Blake Wexler, Jake Matera, Mary Rudzinski, Pat House, and headlining Ian Fidance for the event.
And Ian-
all you have to do is bring a donation.
And thank you to our friends from Helium who helped coordinate this event. But Ian, this is how much I love the guy. He thought the comedy night was going to be done inside the tent. So I was talking to him this weekend. He goes, "Hey, listen, I'm probably going to eat crap, in the doing comedy in a tent." And he's like, but so knowing full well or thinking full well that he was going to be doing this inside a place that wasn't necessarily conducive to comedy, he agreed to do it anyway.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so it's not inside the tent. It will be inside the Miller Time Beer Hall, inside Stateside Live. But I just love the fact that
He did regardless.
He did it regardless.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Doors open at 7, show is at 7:30. There's a Sixers game that night. Make these little notes on your calendar just so you know ahead of time. Come and hang out with us, in the tent of the Camp Out, and then you can head over there. But should be a great time, and it's all for our friends at Phil Abundance and the Camp Out for Hunger. So we're looking forward to that. All right, Ryan, we're going to have you give us the letter of the day if you're ready.
I'm prepared.
Here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
And the Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
P, as in Pierre's positivity.
I love it. And we're going to give away a $1,500 Steven Singer gift card. They say diamonds are forever unless the horsemen get to them first. It's from the masterminds behind the global magic phenomenon, Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Steven Singer Jewelers, making the magic real, giving you $1,500 towards your own diamond that definitely won't vanish. And you can also head to WMMR.com/contest and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to an advanced screening of the movie at the Philadelphia Film Society East on Monday, November 10th. And Now You See Me, Now You Don't will be in theaters November 14th. And a big thanks to Steven Singer Jewelers. Visit IHateStevenSinger.com. All right, so how is today's show going to go today?
All right,
Ryan?
so today and the rest of the week, the idea is at noon in lieu of the workforce blocks, we'll be running back a lot of the Pierre Presents sessions or from the MM archives, different ones that took place. Today, starting at noon, we'll be featuring the full conversation with Wolfgang Van Halen and
Great.
Mammoth. So all the songs, all the love that's there. Continue to send all the positivity in as we continue to celebrate our dear friend Pierre Robert.
I love it. Thank you, Ryan. I want to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Acme Markets Fresh Foods, local flavors, and also Dunkin'. Preston and Steve Show, of course, runs on Dunkin'. And Worldwide Stereo, the Better Than Black Friday 3-day holiday savings event is back November 7th through the 9th. worldwidestereo.com. Tomorrow, our buddy Jeff Walton from Philatrunk, he organizes this event, which takes place the day before Camp Out for Hunger. So this Sunday he's going to pop in and give us some of the details, what you can expect, and it should be great. And also tomorrow's election day, so make sure if you haven't done it yet, get out and vote and do what you got to do. That is it. We are done. Rage on and have a great day in the morning. We'll see you later, gang. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.